Okay, this time I didn't miss it. This time I did not, in fact, forget how long exactly my starting screen music is. Also, thank you for the pad. Would you look at... See, I have everything ready. Even though I kind of just hit start stream without really thinking about whether I had everything ready, but I think we're good. We're very good, actually. I'm very well prepared for all of my streams, always. Also, I definitely don't have wet hair from the shower still, so we're good. Very good to go. Hey, that's over. Hi, good evening. Hello, how are you? No, there was one thing I didn't have ready yet. There we go. My little list of which way do I need to go to get to the ending that I want? But I have it now. Now I have everything. Welcome back to 999. We're on our second route, or more like on our first big change. Since we're going to go through a bunch of different rooms the first time around. Oh yeah! Fuck. We stopped in the bloody room. It's 11 AM. Ooh, spring break. Yes, it is in fact spring break. Well, not for me. I don't have stuff like spring break, but it is in fact spring break, yeah. Which is nice. I at least have a short work week because Friday is a holiday. As well as next Monday, so a long weekend. I'm hoping the rest of the work week goes over really quickly. For exactly that reason. It's like, oh, okay. Yeah, there we go. Let's see. I have no idea where we stopped. I mean, I can see it. I can see we're here, but I'm like, why again? Why are we here? Still alive. I'm sorry for the ninth man, but more than anything, Jumbo was just happy to be alive. Why did I stop here? Ah! Yeah, got it. Okay, never mind. Right, everyone started meeting back up, and then now it's like, oh, mama, this is what happened to us, blah, blah, blah. That's the wrong. But then why does this keep happening to me? And according to the flowchart, we're almost back to the point where it converges again. That's why I stopped here, because I have no idea how long this is actually going to take. Okay, I remember now. I should stream more often. I should play my games more consistently, then I wouldn't forget half the time, even if I've already played them before. Cough. His spot finished, Ace fell silent. For a moment, Junpei was silent and thought. Then he spoke.
つまりこういうことだな。お前らがここを訪れた時には、すでにレッドから基盤は抜き取られていたと。
そこでこの大病室の中をくまなく探してみたものの、結局それは見つからず。
だったらあっちの扉がずらっと並んだ通路の方にあるんじゃねえかと。
It's a lot of doors. Might as well.
で、探しに行ったのね。
You're always saying this. I don't even remember. I think I might have read his name wrong, or he complained that people called him Dave, even though he's not a Dave. Something along those lines, maybe. And I was like, okay, well, Dave.
そうだ。すると、探している間に声が聞こえてきた。
And those voices were probably us, so you came back here to check.
そこで声を追って大病室に戻ってみると。
そう、君たちがいたというわけさ。
Makes sense.
一応、確認のためにレッドを調べておくか。
そうだな。装置の底の部分に細長い溝のようなものが見えるな。スリットというか、スロットというか、とにかく電子部品を差し込むためのものだってのは間違いなさそうだ。
それにしても弱りましたね。
Wow, no way. There's something electronic that goes into the electronic device.
レッドが動かなければこの先には進めないわけで。
あっちの直線通路の方はどこか先に進めそうなところはなかったのか？
いや、なかったな。病室なら腐るほどあったが、他には何も。 病室ってことは、あのたくさん並んでた扉は病室の扉ってこと？
そうだ。この大病室とは違って個室のな。
Mm.
あとは通路の突き当たりのところにドアがあったけど、
鍵穴のところには例の星のマークが刻まれてたよ。触れてみて分かったんだ。あれは木星のマークだね。
Jupiter.
またか。至るところにあるんだな。
一体何の意味があるんでしょう。
For a moment, everyone was silent, deep in thought.
何の意味といえば、この大病室もそうだな。
To be fair, I feel like using astrological signs makes it easy in the sense that you do have quite a lot of them to use, and also immediately makes it obvious which key or key card is needed to open a door. Imagine, like, okay, you only have those 9 hours, whatever, and you'd have to try every single key card or key you've ever found on every single door because you don't know which one fits. And it's like, oh my god, we have 2 seconds left. And then the bombs explode because we couldn't find the specific key in time because we didn't know which one it would be because they all look the same. So I'm kind of glad that it's specifically, it's like, oh, this is Jupiter, this is Mars, this is Venus, this is whatever, blah, blah, blah. Just because I kind of slaves to the trans flag colors for no reason at all. What I find most interesting about her sleeves in particular is you think these are like a separate thing because they have a completely different colors, right? No, it's just one thing. Just one really long sleeve that for some reason only starts having different colors over here. Same thing unless the artist made an oopsie. No, they are the same thing. There is no difference here. There's no further line that would make it like, okay, yeah. And it's consistent. It's consistently like this. There probably also is some kind of artwork out there that explains the clothes in more detail, maybe. I wouldn't know.
一体何なんだここは。この船は客船じゃなかったのか。
But this seems to be on purpose. Of all people, it was Seven who answered him with calm confidence.
この船はおそらく病院船なんだろ
Is this still... Yeah, okay.
う。名前は多分ギガント。
Giganto.
ギガント
Jubei looked confused. So did everyone else.
なんなのよ、そのギガントって。
Seven knit his brows for a moment, then began to explain.
ギガントっていうのはな。20世紀初頭に建造
Because
された
technically we know all
タイ
this
タニック号の
already,
姉妹船
right?
でな。正式名称はギガンティック号という。
They fit her, yeah. Because it's I feel like all of those colors complement each other well and they're in the same kind of side of the color wheel, basically. And like Clover with the very differently colored things with the bright pink and then the more soft one and
タイタニック号には外観も内装もそっくりな3隻の姉妹
we
船があ
know
った。
this.
ギガント号はそのうち当初
Hold
は
on, let
タ
me
イタニ
see.
ック号と同じくその影響によってその後ギガント号は損傷を受けながらもそれからギガン一説によると何でもありとあらゆる遺品をその収集しかしそれはそこで
そのゴルダイン教とかいうやつ
Yep.
そうだ
そんなバカな。1世紀も前に作る。
まあまあ、それで
根拠
この船がギガ、
それをこの船はタイタニック
まさか、それ、
いや
何を
Yep, that is the exact same text.
記憶喪失。
あちょ
Okay, that's new.
ちょっと待ってくれ記憶
Because we
喪
weren't
失
we weren't with him. We don't know about his memory loss yet. We don't know about his amnesia. Jubi was, he felt legitimately shocked by what seemed to be new and very important information. Everyone else, however, seemed unimpressed. In fact, they all looked at Junpei as though he had said something very strange. Well, he wasn't there. You guys didn't explain that.
今さら
He decided to revise his attitude for the next question.
もしかして知らなかったの
Everyone nodded.
どうして
ああそうか お前にはまだ言ってなかったな。あの大階段のところへお前がやってくる前に、目覚める前のことを何も思い出すことができねえってな。
そんな。
Then, almost as if to save Junpei from further embarrassment. Bing bong. A bell began to ring from far away.
金の音か。
大階段にあったあの時計の音のようだな。
Junpei counted each chime carefully.
10、11、12。
12時ですね。タイムリミットまであと6時間。
It's a loud clock. I mean, they do need to hear it through the entire ship. So.
時間がもったいねえな。とにかく動こう。レッドの基盤を探しに行くんだ。
探すって言ったって、どこを探せばいいのよ。
この大病室の中はすでに調べた。すると残された場所は一つしかない。
一つ？
いや、一つじゃねえか。
A lot of
ん
other rooms.
ちょっと待ってよ。ここにある部屋を全部探せって言うの？
Yes.
安心しろ。すでに4部屋は俺たちが調べた。
4部屋って？
あとは8人で手分けして当たればなんとかなるだろう。1人につき6部屋ずつ調べりゃ48部屋は片付くことになる。
残りは48部屋なの？
Her early experiences had apparently not encouraged Lotus to trust Seven. Seven scratched his head awkwardly.
知らん。
おのおの担当するエリアと順序は理解。
Okay.
おう。
Is this? No! Okay. When's the change? Junpei was chosen to search the rooms on the starboard side, moving from 4 to
時間
out.
は次の鐘の音が鳴るまでだ。
Yes.
集合場所は大病室でいいよな。
ああ、問題ない。
基盤を見つけたら、とりあえず声を上げて知らせればいいのよね。
時間までに見つかればいいんだけど。
まあ、それだけ探しても見つからないのなら、別の対策を練った方がいいってことだね。
I'm just gonna catch a cold for real.
そういうこったな。
Seeing, like, looking at all of them, I couldn't tell you what kind of weather it is out there, like, when they were abducted. It's like, where did they get all of these people from? Because clearly they're all Japanese, right? Apparently.
それじゃ行くぞ。
The details decided they left to begin searching. Out into the hallway they went, each to the rooms they'd been assigned. However, allegedly, I think in this one, everyone is just supposed to be Japanese, no questions asked. From far away, Junpei heard the bell ring. It did so only once. It was 1 a.m.
1時か。みんなのところに戻らないと。
He checked through the entrance of the large hospital room to find 6 of the others already there. Is this the same? Okay, thank you! Thank you, we are back. Which technically means I should be able to go skip until we get to selection scenes. Eric doesn't look Japanese at all. What has this poor man done to you?
Oh.
Wait, how do I... What the... Hold on. Don't mind me, but I fear someone has hacked into my Steam account once again. Are you for fucking real? Are you fucking joking? Yeah, because what the fuck? I'm completely serious, by the way, because Steam is just like, hey, refresh your sign-in. Why would I have to do that? This is my account. I'm logged into it. What the fuck are we talking about anymore? I do. I do, because this is not the first time. But to be fair, it's the first time it's happened on stream. I don't like this. Yeah, okay. Oh, this is annoying. I wish people would stop trying to get into my Steam account. I don't have anything that special. Like, I'm sorry, what are you trying to get? 500 visual novels that I haven't played yet? Okay. Like, I am sure most of those games can be gotten quite easily. I think so. They want to play the new Please Be Happy update. Because this, this is the first time I've ever seen this happen. Like, I'm quite literally playing a game right now, right? And Steam suddenly is like, hey, refresh your sign-in. This account logged in on another computer. Excuse me, I don't have any other computers that can log in. And it's locked me out of my mobile thing and everything. Like, what the fuck do you mean? Genuinely. Why do I have every single option to have my Steam account be safe if this happens anyway? Let's see. Well, the thing is, I need to get back into it at first, right? To log off a device. I need to get into the account to actually change stuff for the account, right? What the hell? I fear that might be the case, actually. How do I check on Steam on what devices I'm logged in on, by the way? Genuine question. Security, maybe? Ah, yeah, they authorize all devices. But they would... Oh, I hate this. Count detail. Count details. Thank you. Give me a bit. Oh, this is annoying. Oh yeah, there was an error communicating with the Steam service. Thank you. I'm gonna scream. Oh, wait. I have one more idea. I have one more idea. No, I'm back in. It's fine. I think it's not as bad as I thought it was. I'm hoping. I need a friend to answer their private messages real quick and then we'll know for sure. At the front yard. Oh, okay. That's what you mean. Yeah, no worries, no worries. Okay. The one time you need someone to answer something really quick. I think the problem is not that I got hacked, luckily enough. The problem is that I left my Steam Deck with a friend and I was like, hey, if you'd like, you can play games on it. Because I got her into Balatro and now she's obsessed. And I fear, because looking at all of my authorized devices, I don't see anything I shouldn't know. I have a slight feeling she might have just started up the Steam Deck to do something, and then Steam was like, oh my god, that's a different device than the one you're on right now. Help. But I need her to confirm that real quick, because if it's not her, then I, you know. Please, for once in your life, look at your fucking phone. I've never had this problem before, right? I've never tried to use both the Steam Deck and my PC Steam at the same time. Okay, I'm not getting an answer. We will never know. I now have to live in fear until I get the confirmation that that is hopefully the case. Okay. I love this. Everything is working just as intended, maybe. Good God, okay. How do I put you on skip? There we go. But even then, would it really immediately give you the whole, hey, you need to log back into this device just because you start up a Steam Deck at the same time as a PC? Where you are logged into the same account? I'm hoping that's the case. I don't know. I don't actually know that much about the Steam Deck. We want to go back here. And there we see Santa, but we don't actually talk to him. That's the same thing as we did last time. Literally play games on both devices at the same time. But I don't see any other... Oh, I hate this. I don't see anything else that has access to my account. There's nothing else. Yeah, no, there's nothing else. It's just my computer, my phone, and the Steam Deck. So it shouldn't be. Yeah, I don't know. It's just, you know, since it's happened before, and I feel like I get... I feel I need to make stronger passwords, even though I already have 2FA everywhere now. And in my personal opinion, a pretty strong password. Was machst du da? I feel like I get hacked a little too often for comfort. Prima. Okay. We shall simply move on. We shall ignore that and hope everything is just fine. This is the same as before. We're missing someone, and she's right. But this time we want to go through a different door than last time. Yada yada yada, blah blah blah. Hi, good evening. Okay, there we go. And we're going back to normal mode, and this time we want to go through door 8. We're gonna ignore that me on my own playthrough. I've obviously gone through it before, but this is our first time. Right? No, wait. I'm stupid. Am I? Wait, which route am I going? Ah. No, that's right. We're going 486, but we've been to door 8 before. Just do. Sure. Let's do a room again that we've already done before. It's fine. It's fine. At least that way we'll know how to quickly do it. Never mind. System reboots before. Who knows what can happen? Yeah, I'm just nervous. I get nervous easily. Did you know that? Can I not just jump here? If we've already done room 8, can I not just go here? No. Do I have to play through it again? I wonder. Because we've done this before. Yeah, Lotus Clover and I. It's the same setup as last time. That was fun! Oh! Yeah. Well, it doesn't seem like I actually got hacked. I have a feeling that it might have been because the friend I left my Steam Deck with might have used it. But even then, that shouldn't usually be the case. Yeah, this is the exact same thing.
そういや、四つ葉は
But it's weird! It's weird and I don't like it. There's a flowchart, but you can't actually jump to the sections. You have to play through it again. Okay, well that just means we have a bunch of text we can simply skip. Yay! I should be, right? I mean, why else did they put the flowchart in there? But I don't remember how to do it. Oh. Okay, never mind. I just didn't press once more. There we go. Steam is a perfect platform with no flaws. For sure. Yeah. I completely agree. Which door is this one? The number 1 door. Okay, this time we want to go through number 6 door. Which means we can skip even more. We can skip up to this part where we choose.
1、
Lord Gaben.
2、3、4
Do people actually still refer to him that way? I feel like I haven't heard the Lord Gaben thing in years. Okay, let's see. No, okay. Okay. Now for real. For real this time. Different door.
俺の希望は6の扉だ。
John's Steam, it's funnier. True, that's a good one. Okay. Junpei flipped open the piece of paper and read Junpei, door 6. Of course it did. He'd written it after all. June spoke barely above a whisper, but they all knew what she said. Hell yeah! I love breaking up teams. But I have main character bonus, so I get everyone to do to my bidding.
私と四つ葉は1の扉を選んだ。
俺とヤシロは2の扉だ。
だが2人だけではナンバリングドアを開くことはできない。
第一数字根も合ってねえしな。
俺たちのチームも同じだ。俺、紫、順平の3人は6の扉に入ることを希望してる。だが3人の数字根は5だ。扉を開くには1足りない。
Ah, so we would need A's.
弱ったわね。どうする？
どうするか。
Junpei crossed his arms and did his best to put his thoughts in order. The others followed suit, but with little result. Eventually, Clover broke the silence.
セブンとヤシロが1の扉に来たらどう？
Because Seven and Lotus don't get along. Mostly, that's mostly the reason. Thankfully, you're Ace. Fuck yeah. You don't want to be this guy though. I don't like this guy. He's not a, you know. Her face was cold and flat, as was her voice, but her logic was sound. Seven and Lotus looked at each other. 7 plus 8 plus 4 is 19. 1 plus 9 is 10, and 1 plus 0 is 1. The first problem resolved, Ace spoke up.
私はどうすればいいのかな。
決まってるでしょ。さっき1足りないって嘆いてたチームがあったじゃない。
You don't want to be a guy, so fair. Yeah, fair. I think his hair is cool.
つまりサンタのチームに入れと。
Clover nodded, her face still cold and emotionless. Attitude and posture could not have been more different than the energetic girl of only a few hours before. To be fair, a few hours before, her brother wasn't dead yet. No one seemed ready to contradict her. Her response was understandable, given the horrible situation in which she had found herself, but even so...
わかったよ。それじゃあ私は6の扉に移ろう。
Okay.
四つ葉が言った通りにすれば、誰もあぶれることなくナンバリングドアの先に進むことができるわけですよ。反論の余地が見当たらないからね。
3 plus 6 plus 5 plus 1 is 15. 1 plus 5 is 6.
セブンとヤシロはどうなんだ？
俺は別に構わないぜ。
私も。
それじゃあこれで決まりだな。
じゃあ行くから。
These are like the most extreme ways we have because it's always 3 to 5 people, right? But I feel like this is one of the only few times we actually have. No, I think I'm misremembering. But this is the one instance where it's immediately like, okay, here's 3 and here's 5. All because we're already missing 2 people. 2 being dead. 2 dead people. Unfortunate. This means that Clover, Lotus, and Seven are going to find... Was this room already? Are going to find the dead guy in the captain's quarters, though. If I remember correctly. I don't remember which room number 6 is for us now. I don't actually...
おい、奴ら、一人で動くな。
I mean... The more specific you get with something, the easier it is to actually imagine it, I feel like.
私も行くわね。
ああ、気をつけてな。
では我々も行こうか。
At last, Junpei and the other 6 had managed to separate themselves into 2 teams. Clover, 7, and Lotus headed to A deck, where door 1 was, near the main staircase. Junpei, June, Ace, and Santa, however, took the elevator to E deck. Ah, it's the one downstairs, okay. The road to E deck was a silent one.
ここがいいデッキか。
この廊下の奥に扉があるはずです。
よし、行こ
Santa's voice jolted them to action and they stepped out of the elevator into a long, straight hallway. Before long, they arrived in front of door 6.
う。あれか。3人ともいるな。ああ、やるぞ。
I think you know what room we're going to. Oh, do you remember going to this one? One by one, they put their palms over the red. With a soft electronic noise, it authenticated each of them. Swing! You got all the bad ends. True! The door opened, and all at once the 4 of them leapt through it. Oh, thank you for the follow. Welcome in.
あったぞ、すぐそこだ。
Fortunately, the dead was located easily enough. This one had been placed quite close to the door they'd entered through. They gathered around it quickly and hurriedly placed their palms on it for authentication one by one. I find it funny from how much, like, further down June's hand goes up. It's like everyone else has them pretty much in a very straight way where the arm doesn't bend at all, and hers is like from all the way down there. Even though I don't think she's that small, but what do I know? Okay, there we go. No dying. Not yet.
止まりましたね。
The curtain had ceased, but Junpei's heart was still pounding in his chest like a frantic thunderstorm. It felt as though it might shake itself up and out of his throat. No, it's really soon.
ああ、いつまで経っても慣れないな、この感覚は。
俺は慣れたくなんてないな。こんな馬鹿げたゲーム。慣れる前にとっとと抜け出してしまいたいよ。
右に同じだな。さっさと終わらせて。バカンスにでも行って忘れるのが一番だろう。
ああ、確かにその通りだな。
At that, the doom and gloom from before was done and the mood turned somewhat lighter.
最高。
With that attempt at good humor, Junpei took a deep breath and began to walk. He jogged down the stairs at the end of the hallway and found himself staring at a large door.
頑丈そうな扉ですね。
That is a weird lock.
動くみたいだ。
He took hold of the bar that served as his doorknob. Oh, sorry, it's the doorknob, my bad. And shoved it down. What room is this? The room beyond stopped him in his tracks. Oh, this one! It was gargantuan and made entirely of metal. None of the accents of wood or tile had seen in the rest of the ship. This room was purely functional, but utterly tremendous.
おいおい、なんだよこいつは。
The boiler room. Santa got out a few words before Aw stole the rest of them. The rest were too stunned to offer anything more than
と
gasps.
てつもなく広いな。天井もやたら高いし。
2フロア分はぶち抜いてそうだよな。それに横幅もすげえ。
もしかしたら船の幅いっぱいに使った空間なのかもしれないな。
Right, Texas, know what happens. I remember one specific scene that happens in here, but not much else.
あの巨大なかまぼこみたいな建物は何でしょう？
June pointed to the massive building in the center.
かまぼこって。いや、まあこの上なんかわかりやすいけどさ。
Junpei and the others were standing on scaffolding and crisscrossed the whole area. The proper term was catwalk, Junpei thought, although that didn't seem particularly important.
階段はあるようだし、とにかく降りてみようか。
そうだな。この足場狭くて落ち着かねえし。
ですね。
Nearby was a long iron staircase that made its way eventually to the floor beneath them.
近くで見るとかまぼこかどうかわかんねえくらいでかいな。
反対側も見に行きましょうか。
They moved around toward the opposite side of the massive building, following the catwalk. They hadn't said much as they walked, but as they approached the building, Ace suddenly spoke up.
どうやらここは蒸気機関室のようだね。
It was actually 3. 2022 was... Yeah, I mean, depending on when in the year, you might still be right. But yeah, same.
蒸気機関室
March. Oh, okay, never mind then. I hate that we're already halfway through April in 2025. I feel like I haven't gotten anything done. Like, I have things planned and I'm hoping they actually work out for once because I really, really need them to. So I can finally say, okay, 2025 is my year and I'm gonna make it mine, but it's... I need winter 2014 and... Is that an actual question, or are you talking specifically about like the anime season of winter 2014?
このマッシュルームを輪切りにしたような形の物体はボイラーだよ。下のところに3つの丸い扉がついてるだろ。そこに石炭をくべて燃焼させ、水を沸騰させる仕組みだ。SL、蒸気機関車と同じだよ。それの特大版といったところか。
A little tiny bit, a little bit larger.
なるほど。
Not by a lot.
まあ、今は稼働していないようだがね。
Okay. This year marks the 10 years since I finished school. It's just crazy to me. The entire room was as silent as
そ
the
れじゃ
grave.
あ手分けして調べ。
Then all of a sudden, Junpei heard a noise behind him. He turned just in time to see June collapse to her knees.
おいどうしたんだ大丈夫か
Yeah, fever's back. Also, good morning, puppet. Persona 5 and Mother 4 were supposed to release... Ah, the supposed original release date of Persona 5. They all do. They all do. They all have yaoi. He dashed toward her and wrapped his arm around her shoulders to steady her.
おい紫
It was then that he noticed.
お前すごい熱じゃないかまたぶり返したのか
そうみたいです。でも大丈夫ですから心配しないでください。ちょっと休めば良くなると思います。
Her voice was weak and forced, and it said a great deal more than her words did.
分かったほらひとまずここに座ってろ
Junpei carried her to the nearest wall and propped her up against it. She let her head fall back against the wall as if she no longer had the strength to support it and drew a ragged breath.
ありがとう。
Her eyes were empty as if she was having trouble focusing them, and even speaking seemed difficult for her. Junpei felt his hand ball itself into a fist and clenched tight, his knuckles whitening. He had to find a way out, and quickly. He turned and looked at Ace and Santa in turn.
一宮サンタ
ああ
They might not have shared the depth of his emotion, but they certainly shared his concern.
それじゃあ行動開始だ待ってろ紫
助けてやるからな。
She managed a small nod before leaning back to rest her head on the wall. Shake a way out! Okay, do I remember anything about this room? Not really. Let's see. What do we have? What do we have? What can I look at? Okay. Can I go anywhere else? I can go up the stairs. Uh-huh. Can I go even further? I can. Oh god. There's a lot of things to look at since it's such a big room. Okay, what's this one? One of the doors in the furnace. There's an A on it. There's a circular wheel in the center of the door. Let's give this sucker a twist. Does it? Oh, this one actually opens. It's noisy, but it opens, and it's totally pitch black in there. We should go in here. Alright. Let's go. What? This looks just like the door we went into. Where are we? We must be on the other side, yes? Which will put us directly above the conveyor belt. At any rate, we should keep moving. There's a great deal we've yet to investigate. Oh. Ah. Okay, what do I gain from doing that exactly? What's in this one then? This weekend should be on the other side of these boxes. You have an excellent memory. What? I mean, they're right there. Use it to draw a map inside your head. That way you won't get lost. Thanks, man. Thank you. A whole bunch of boxes blocking the way here. Okay, what about supports and braces the side of the ship? It's not a ladder. Oh. Let's give this wheel a spin. Oh, what? That's weird. I don't feel any resistance. Oh. Thank you. Good job, genius. You broke it. Shut the fuck up. I didn't break it. It broke all by itself. Mm-hmm. And operated winch. The wheel I once had is now in my hands. So we can back it back on. There's a couple of posts on the back of it that looks like they fit into holes in the winch. Oh good, these little shafts are too small for this big hole. It's like throwing a hot dog down a hallway, to be honest. That is... And... okay. If that's the case, then the wheel wasn't originally part of this switch. Then that means we need it for something else. Why would you throw hot dogs? Okay. Don't know if there's a C on it. Okay, I can't go there though. Okay, let me go back over to this side and look at door C. Ah, would you look at that? That seems like something we can attach our little wheel to. There's no wheel to turn. Oh yeah, I've got the wheel I pulled off the other winch, don't I? Let's see if it fits. Sweet! That's a perfect fit, like they were made for each other. Not shaky at all. I should be able to turn this now. Good work, Junpei. Thank you. I should be able to haul up the wooden box now. You see the wooden box? It's under the catwalk. Can you see it? Yeah? It's hanging from the rope on the winch, isn't it? Looks like there's some sort of device in the box. I'm not sure what it is. At any rate, you might as well turn our wheel now. Counting on you. Why don't you do it? I'll turn the wheel. What's this? What happened? This wheel only turns to the left. It only turns to the left. That means we can reel up the rope. Yeah, we can only let the rope down. Interesting. I don't think that will be a problem. We will simply need to go downstairs after letting the wooden box down. I will be counting on you, Junpei. Sure thing. No sweat. I have no idea on which part of the floor it is going to be, but that should be... yeah, we should be able to do that. You wait to give a manual labor, you don't know what he's saying.
Oh.
Move, I'm gay. He stuck his head out of the side of the catwalk and looked down. The box that had only recently hung just below the catwalk now sat on the floor. It had come to rest near the end of the tunnel that covered the conveyor
あ
belt.
そこはちょうど紫がいるあたりか。
Junpei could see her still leaning against the wall as if she barely had the strength to sit up. Even from so far away, it was not difficult to see that she had not improved. He almost thought he could see the heat rising from her body.
彼女まだ良くならないようだね。
Ace's expression was inscrutable, but he'd said what they had all been
そ
thinking.
う簡単に回復するわけないだろう。
He tried desperately to convince himself that what he'd said was
原
true.
因は何だろう。風邪か？
いや疲れだろ。
Senda's response was confident and
突
certain.
然こんなわけのわからないところに放り込まれてこんなくだらないゲームをさせられて疲れが出ない方がどうかしてるんだよ。
Kinda.
つまり我々の方が異常だと？
そうだ。今もこんな風に室内に張り巡らされたギミックを淡々と解いていってる。疑うこともなく当たり前のように。これじゃまるでモルモットだ。
Senda snorted in
ロ
disgust.
ボット実験動物。要するに俺たちは何かの実験をさせられてるんじゃないかって、そういうことか。
さあな。だけどまあ可能性としてはないこともないかもな。
It wouldn't be the weirdest thing I've ever seen happen in a visual novel before. They stood there for a few more minutes, no one speaking, until Senda turned and walked away from the winch. Junpei and Ace followed him. Okay, where the... Okay. Let's go back over then. And... down, I guess? Down. Conveyor belt. There it is. Control panel for something. Okay. That tunnel, it goes all the way across the ship. That's nice. What's in here? Nothing. You think this thing fits in there? Maybe there's holes where the control panel goes. Wouldn't be too far. There's only one way to find out. In you go. Oh. Dude, you did it. Everything looks alright. Okay, but what do we do now? Why did you press the button next to it? The orange one? Yes. Alright, I'll do that. Push it. Swing. Sweet. All sorts of lights are lighting up on this thing. And oh, yes, I think I just heard something turn on. Oh? What's that? What happened? Junpei, look, the conveyor belt's moving. The conveyor belt? The conveyor belt? Well, I guess it's done moving now. There's still a bunch of coal in the belt, though. Looks like a bunch of it got dumped off the end of the belt into the wooden box where we found the control panel. Coal. Oh, huh. Coal. Coal, huh. What would we need a box filled with coal for? Just stuff it into your pants. It's certainly not going to make a mess and not be extremely fucking heavy. This is where you put the coal into the furnace? That's right. I had a look at it earlier, but it's rusted shut, I'm afraid. Perhaps you should check the other side. The other side? Okay, I can do that. Seems huge. Oh. Just common sense, you know. I don't think it's common sense to know that much about boats, but sure, whatever you say, my guy. Can I put the coal in here? It's a hole that let us put coal into the furnace. Maybe if you can get some coal in there and set it on fire. Let's do it. I don't know how we're gonna set it on fire, though. That's the last of it. No coal left in the wooden box. And nothing. Great. Well, I guess I should have expected that. Why would just throwing coal into a cold furnace do anything? Oh well, a man can dream. Junpei, explain to me again. You're planning to stoke the furnace with coal, which will heat the water stored up there and make steam, which will then drive something else. Am I correct? I didn't actually think that far. I just thought, coal goes into the furnace. We have coal. We have a furnace. In other words, you want to generate enough pressure with the steam to power the turbine. I guess I do. And drive the steam engine, right? yeah, I guess that's the gist of it. Well, in that case, this is enough coal. This furnace is enormous, so we're gonna need a whole hell of a lot more coal than this. Well, you're Santa Claus. Bring some coal for the bad kids then. My guy, I don't know. Very well then, if the three of us work together, then we should manage to fill it much faster. I want to help too. Man, I totally didn't even see her walk up. Are you feeling up to that? Yes. Yeah, right. You look like you're one stiff breeze away from falling over, June. I think you better rest some more, right? But no arguing. You need your rest, so you just stay there. We'll handle this. Okay. I understand. Alright, time for some manly work. Oh, come on, don't say that. Let's get this coal into those furnaces. Right? He just had to go and ruin it. This is a lot of work. Alright, I think this should be sufficient. Alright, now we just gotta light it. Junpei, hand me your matches. What makes you think I have matches? I see. Then how are we gonna light it? Perhaps there's a device nearby that will allow us to remotely ignite the coal. Let's take a look, shall we? Some sort of ignition device, huh? Maybe, yeah, some sort of ignition device. He has a lot of thoughts where I'm like, yeah, it's a good thing you keep them to yourself. But then again, on the you know, remember in front of that one door where he said the thing about the lotus sign because of the devil horns? I was like, you maybe should have kept that to yourself. Do these do anything? The side is locked in place. It won't move. Oh, okay. Does this one do anything? Is this? I think it might be. It probably is. I think this is how we might ignite the furnace. That means that if we move that thing down... Alright, let's do it. Here we go. Junpei, Ace, look at this. This big gear is turning under the broiler here. The boiler.
Ooh, big 3D animated wheels.
So this one want to see. Is this? And I'm waiting for someone else to finish my sentence who obviously knows more than I do. Gears. Spinning. What the hell are you guys waiting for? Let's start looking. Okay, damn, I'm going. Calm down. What is this? A gold disc. Okay. And what about this one? A bronze disc. Okay. And what about... I would like to... Oh, come on. How am I gonna... There we go. The section... Oh, thank you. The silver disc. Okay, and where am I supposed to put that thing? Somewhere upstairs, maybe? What haven't I checked out? What are you? Where are you going? The only thing in there is a closed number door. What kind of point is... Oh, that's where we came from. Oh, okay. Sorry, my bad. That's where we came from. Where do I put that thing? What are you doing? It's harder than hell in there. Oh! Okay, I can't go over there. Right, we lit the front. My bad. We quite literally lit that thing on fire. That makes sense. Where am I supposed to bring these? Hi, Akira. Good evening. Thank you for the pat. Where's the exit to this? Oh, wait. I haven't been to this side. Ah! Oh. This looks about right. Looks like this thing unlocks the door. There's a depression here that looks like it's the outline of 3 circles laid on top of each other in a triangle. Maybe if we put those 3 discs we found into this thing. There's only one way to find out. Let's stick them in. Huh. That's odd. Nothing's happening. Probably because they're not in their proper place yet. Maybe you're, I don't know, putting them in the wrong places. Perhaps you have them facing the wrong directions. Perhaps you should rotate the disc to make some of the lines connect to one another. Well, no harm in trying. Instructions. When a disc is pressed, it will rotate a certain amount. When the white arrow is pressed, the disc will switch. Please know when the disc is switched, the angles for the disc are reset. Oh, okay. I don't remember. How much do you rotate? Okay, just 1 step at a time. Okay, what if I... What? Like this. And... yeah. Here we go. The red lines on these discs. I think maybe I can make a star polygon with these. Whatever you say, big guy. You know, sometimes I wonder what the algorithms think of me. When I get very, very specific ads, I'm like, I wonder what kind of stuff it listen to again, where it's like, oh yeah, this is something I want. For sure. Given the circumstances, Junpei's happiness was certainly understandable. Speaking of, recently, I was watching YouTube on the TV and I was like, why is all of my stuff so weird? Like, why do I get football videos and everything? Turns out the TV had once again given me my stupid Google YouTube account. Remember some years back when, for some reason, due to the Google merge and whatever, you kind of got a different YouTube account even when you already had one, and now those are completely useless, but they're still stuck to your account. Sometimes, for whatever reason, my TV is like, oh yeah, you're now watching stuff on this one. So obviously, the algorithm is not as well trained on that one. I'm like, why do I keep seeing stuff I would never watch? I'm on the wrong account, that's why. I seem to share his excitement. Yeah, let's get out of here. Santa snorted.
別に見張る必要なんてなくね。仮に扉が閉まっちまったとしても、円盤の合わせ方はもう分かってるわけだし。
まあ、そうだが。
Condiments. Not gonna lie. Sometimes when parents tell me about ads they see on TV and they're like, oh, have you seen this ad? I'm like, no, because I go to everything in life with an ad blocker. To as far as an extent as I can make it, I would like to never see any kind of ads ever again. Thank you.
だったら3人で紫くんを迎えに行くかね。
いや、俺は遠慮しとくよ。順平に任せる。
On Twitch, I have no idea. I didn't know that I have to own him. Huh? What the hell? I think it's because no one in those companies actually cares enough to check the ads they have running anymore. Like maybe some years back, but not anymore. They do not care what they have, and they even if you report the stuff, they're like, He still seemed irritated by something, however, and sat down on the stairs petulantly.
たく、君は本当に天の弱なやつだな。
I sighed with the air of a long-suffering parent.
とにかく紫を連れてくるよ。待っててくれ。
He gave a quick nod to Ace and Santa and dashed off down the stairs. Before long, he was back on the first floor next to the conveyor belt in June.
純平くん。
It barely does anything. Like, at most, you will maybe get an answer that's just like, oh, we didn't see anything wrong with this content, so fuck you. As he drew closer, she stood up, slowly. He did his best to sound calm and nonchalant, but there was no hiding the genuine concern in his voice.
はい、もうすっかり心配かけてすみませんでした。
She's so cute. June blushed. He wasn't sure if she was embarrassed or still
ちょっ
feverish.
と額に触るぞ。
Just to make sure, he reached out and put his hand against her forehead.
だいぶ下がったみたいだな。
Did you want a person like that so they can sell your preferences? Said that probably. Probably. I meticulously take care to always like say no to every single personalized thing and whatever when they want to save stuff. I'm like, no. You can give me 20 pages of those and I will still single-handedly click on every single one of them and say no. Fuck off. Yes, obviously it takes longer sometimes, but I'm like, no, I don't see why you should get that. Stop stealing my data. Says the streamer streaming on the same website they complain about. She was feeling far less warm than she had earlier, but still wasn't down to what seemed normal to
本
him.
当に大丈夫なのか？
Well, to be fair, a fever doesn't really go away in like 5 minutes. He had to be sure. Jun gave him a look.
純平くんは心配性だな。
What, a warrior?
間違えた。純平くんは心配性だな。
Okay. June giggled. He wasn't sure if she just made a joke or not, but seeing her smile again made Junpei feel at ease. If she was well enough to smile and laugh, then she really was feeling much better. He gave her a friendly poke on the forehead.
さあ行こ
行く？
う。ああ、そうか。まだ伝えてなかったな。出口の扉が開いたんだよ。
わかりました。行きましょう。
June clasped her hands and nodded urgently. They headed back to the exit, but on the way they found
あそこにいるのは。
サンタ？
only Santa. Santa was sitting on the stairs. He was, however, holding something in his right hand and staring at her with a strange expression. Junpei and June slowed down and finally stopped in front of him.
何を見てるんだ？
Santa answered without looking up, his voice quiet.
写真だよ。妹の。
妹？サンタさんには妹がいるんですか？
Santa simply nodded.
ああ。目に入れても痛くないほど可愛い妹でな。
June cocked her head, confused.
身長が2ミリぐらいなんですか？
June, for real, wins every single autism off ever. I love her. Santa glared at her.
あ、ごめんなさい。2ミリじゃ痛いですよね。0.2ミリぐらいでしょうか。
Santa didn't smile or
ご
laugh.
めんなさい。
Oh. He simply turned back to his picture and spoke.
What?
What the fuck, actually? Steam, I'm going to fucking kill you. Hold on. Okay. I don't know why. Or maybe... Can you play several games on the same Steam account if you are on different devices at the same time? No. Then that explains it. Okay. Good thing. I did not get hacked. It's just... It was my friend, because earlier she hadn't closed the game yet. She only put... Like, she only turned off the screen of the Steam Deck. And literally, like, a minute ago, before I got the notification again, she was like, oh, fuck, I forgot to close the full game. So, you know, she turned it on. She closed the game, and that's when I got it. Maybe it's something to do with the, like, online status or something? I don't know. I don't know enough about the Steam Deck, I feel like. Kick you out immediately when you open a game and you see... Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, I have to. I'll have a look into it, but good thing is I did not in fact get hacked. It's literally just my friend who wanted to actually close the game finally, because Baladra has been running on the Steam Deck ever since the weekend. Basically, she was like, oh wait, maybe I should close that. Because I just wrote to her, I was like, is that you? Did you do it before or after I wrote you? And she was like, oh, I just did it like a minute ago before you wrote me. I'm like, okay. Okay. I do not want a repeat of the time when, for whatever reason, someone got into my account and started buying CSGO skins and stuff or whatever at like 4 in the morning. The funniest thing is they didn't get very far because I was still awake and I saw it happen in basically real time. And I got them out of my account. Like, they put their own money into it. And then they started trading stuff. No, the funniest thing is they put their own money into it to really start and bought a few things. And I got them out of the account and actually ended up with a few cents more than they had started with. And to this day, I'm still like, why the hell? I don't know. I don't know. I'm just happy I was awake. Because anything you buy in the Steam market, you don't have a chance of returning. You forfeit your right to return goods. Like, for the Steam market, anything is like a final sale. What's the point? They started off with really small stuff, right? Like really small items that cost a few cents. And then the one thing actually cost like 12 fucking euros. I'm like, what the hell? But that's when I got into it, basically. They started off with their own money, luckily. And I ended up with a few cents more in the end because they basically just kept pushing stuff back and from. And I had so many weird sales and trades on the market afterwards. I'm like, oh god, I'm going to block every single one of these accounts. I'm assuming there's probably other accounts that these people got into who also didn't actually do anything wrong, but But yeah, ever since then I'm a little whenever Steam is like, oh my god, you're not logged in, who are you? I'm me, I own this account, please get out of here if you're not me. I'm the owner, thank you very much. But yeah, I don't know what the goal is. I really don't know. Let's get back to Santa. I'm sorry, Santa. Please keep talking about your little sister. I'd like to hear more.
Santa Claus?
The sudden revelation took Junpei by surprise. He had no idea what Santa meant. He glanced at June, who shook her head. She didn't know either.
知ってるか
Who?
昔々大昔、サンタクロースは2人いたんだぜ。1人は白いサンタクロース、もう1人は黒いサンタクロース。白いサンタは良い子のみんなに贈り物を届け、黒いサンタは悪い子供たちにいたずらを仕掛けた。だがその悪ふざけは年々エスカレートしていくばかり。見るに見かねた白いサンタは、ある時ついに黒いサンタを刺し殺してしまった。
Excuse me?
返り血を浴びた白いサンタ。その服は真っ赤に染まった。だからなんだとさ、サンタクロースの服が赤いのは。
That's a very violent Santa Claus.
つまりあの赤い色は、黒いサンタの血の色だったってわけだ。
Junpei was silent. He could think of nothing to say. June was staring at Santa, sadness playing on her face. He continued.
俺は一体どっちのサンタなんだろうな。
Aww.
白いサンタか、黒いサンタか。最後。
Santa stood up suddenly, his downcast demeanor gone. He shoved the picture back in his pocket and headed back up the stairs, taking them two at a time. Well, that was weird. Junpei and June looked at one another. There was nothing they could think of to say.
おい、何やってんだ。早く行くぞ。
You're in both colors, either one should choose. As long as he doesn't stab anyone to make his clothes go red as well, we're good. Santa's voice echoed across the room from above
行
them.
きましょう。
あ、
They nodded and followed him quickly up the stairs. Ace was waiting for them at the top. He was leaning against the handrail. He looked very tired.
ようやく戻ってきたね。
The door had shut, but it wasn't cause for concern.
すまない。
Junpei quickly solved the disc puzzle a second time, and the door opened once again.
行こう。
In single file, they walked through. After walking for nearly 15 feet, however much that is, they found themselves in front of a metal door. It opened easily enough, and they passed through it as well. Oh, doors should actually open easily. What do you mean? A new room stretched out before them. Ah, the cargo room.
倉庫。
This one I actually remember, I think.
いや、倉庫というよりは貨物室だろう。船の積み荷を保管しておく場所だ。
木箱がいっぱいありますね。一体いつの時代のものなんでしょう。
Junpei and June had stopped unconsciously, pausing to take in their new surroundings. Santa's voice broke through their momentary trance.
とにかく出口を探すところから始めよう。さあ、行動開始だ。
I do wonder what program they used to model all of their 3D stuff in. Cargo shorts called cargo shorts because you can fit so much in them. I wish I could tell you because I genuinely don't know. It sounds plausible, right? But oftentimes I feel like it's not that easy. It would be fun though. Okay. Oh, I can just turn forever. Okay. What is in here? Bunch of bags here. I wonder what's in them. Card with... Oh! What's that? It's a card. It has a headshot on it. A headshot? Yeah. I'm not really sure what purpose this could possibly serve. Oh, well. Let's see if there's any more of them. Oh, yeah. Let's open all of the bags then. Clover. I keep wanting to call him Prince simply because Junpei first calls him a prince and then I forget his actual code. Suddenly, there was a cat's foot under my foot because I didn't even hear him come in. Hello? Hello? Was machst denn du? Hm? Oh, someone's beide erschrocken. Ja, someone's beide erschrocken. Oh mein Gott. Let's see. 1 second. I don't think you suck at puzzles. Maybe you're just not used to them. You don't have much experience with them, so you don't know how they want you to think. Ja. Oder auch nicht. Give me attention, says the cat. When I try to actually lift him up to give him attention, he runs away. He's gonna be back immediately after, though. Come on. Come here. Come here. Ah, that's it. Ah. Ah. Yeah. Because I feel like when you play, for example, the first Professor Layton game, and the Professor Layton games tend to reuse the same type of puzzles many times. If you've seen the same type like 3 times, you start to understand how they go. And you might work out some of them way more quickly than others, simply because you've seen them so often before. But if it's your first time playing, it might take you a little longer. Can I go up here? Is there anything up there? You go up 3 stories. What are you waiting for, Junpei? Whatever, I'm going. Oh, okay. Have fun. Let's get fun. Can I go even further? No. What's this one? The only door here except for the one we just came in through. Then this is the exit. No shit, Sherlock. Oh, shut the fuck up. Of course it's locked. Isn't it an electronic lock? No, just a keyhole right under the doorknob. So to open this door, we've got to find a key that fits the keyhole. Oh, yeah, okay. Sure. It does. Genuinely. Streamer blindness is real, I'm so sorry to say. Like, I like to believe it's not, but sometimes I watch stuff back that I was doing myself. I'm like, why the hell did it take me so long to see something? Like, it's right in the middle of the screen and I just wasn't able to actually see it. What's in here? We searched all the boxes, there's nothing in them. Oh, okay. What's in this one? Uh-huh. The box, there's nothing inside. Okay, wait. We're missing one. Anything? Oh, I can go all the way over here? Anything in here? Pretty crazy, it's like that like stairs. If we climb up there, I think we can get over the fence. Do you think you could go take a look at that? Sorry, but no thanks. Why? I've got a bad feeling about it. Let's see. Okay, fine. Bro! Excuse me? Language? Just be careful, Santa. Yeah, but just in case. What's he going to do with that screw? I don't see what throwing a screw at the fence is. Holy shit. Oh man. There's electricity running through that fence. Looks like it. And we can't get to the other side. Well, we could jump off those crates, but we wouldn't be able to get back. Okay, never mind then. Oh, wait, who am I missing? Like leaving a cursor on screen. I hate that. What I try to do whenever I do need the cursor on screen is I try to always move it somewhere behind me. So it's not as obvious. Who are we missing? Lotus. Missing Lotus's card. Missing a cat and a hidden cat came despite the mouse cursor being right next to the cat. To be fair, remember when I played that one? Find all of the hidden hidden things? Or are you talking about me? I cannot tell. Because I distinctly remember also leaving the cursor right next to some stuff and you guys were like, wasn't it right there? And then I had moved to a different place already because of the delay in stream. And the chat messages. Wait, maybe there's one in here. It's locked, we need the key. All the boxes have numbers on them, do they? Oh? I just went down and picked up something that had been sitting next to the box. Junpei, take a look at this. Cards! Oh, there we go. Lotus's card. So what? Do we put them... Wait, where's Aces? Do we put them in there?
写真のついたカードは9枚揃ったな。あとはこれを箱の正面にあるカードスロットに差し込んでいけば。
I guess it was me. Might be. I don't think we played the specifically hidden cat game though. But we did play a hidden find all of the hidden things on screen game before, and I definitely didn't see some very obvious things at the time. It still took you a while. I mean, that's fair. Sometimes you think it cannot be that easy, right? Junpei stared at the cards in his hands. Ace peered over his shoulder in them. Junpei gave him a look.
何言ってんだよ。そんなの聞くまでもないじゃないか。写真の人物に割り振られたバングルナンバー。それぞれのカードを差し込んでいけばいいだけだろ。例えば、一宮の写真がついたカードだったら、1番の箱に。ニルスの写真がついたカードだったら、2番の箱に。といった感じで。
ああ、なるほどな。
あ、どうかしたのか?
Junpei thought he might have imagined it, but he could have sworn Ace stiffened.
とにかく、あとは任せたよ。
To put over you asking not to spoil. It does feel good though if you manage to figure it out on your own. I think. He quickly turned and walked away. Doing his best to clear his mind for the task at hand, he turned back towards the boxes. 9 cards with pictures and 9 boxes. Junpei stared at them for a moment and then began. Thank you for the hydrated time. You've poison on. I've poison on my old man. What was I saying?
一宮のカードは1番の箱。ニルスのカードは2番の箱に。そして3、4、5と同じ手順でカードを刺していけばいいだけだな。最後に鳥の
Wallputs are so much fun because I don't even... What am I even saying? All 9 box lids popped open at once. He peered inside. In each box was a single pin. Oh. They looked a little like sewing pins, but much thicker. Clearly the old man had a poison skill. Yeah. That sounds plausible. Get some good food. Absolutely, you should do that. Food is very important, always. Junpei collected them all quickly and shoved them into his pocket. He has so many pockets. This guy has so many pockets. So much space in his pockets. Maybe he's the one wearing cargo pants, actually. Is it? There we go. There's 6 holes here, and it looks like the pins I just found would be a perfect fit for them. Once you found it in 9 boxes, right? Why don't you try it? Alright, let's see what happens. 2, 4, and 6 should go here on the top part, and 3, 5, and 7 on the bottom part. Well, some of them lit up. Yeah, 3 and 6. I wonder if there's some kind of rule that determines which lights go on. Oh, probably not the same thing that we've had the entire fucking time. Well, I put 2, 4, and 6 on the top part, and 3, 5, and 7 on the bottom. You think? Maybe it's a digital root? Digital root that has been a recurring theme this entire game? No way. That we have a specific calculator for in case we don't want to do the math ourselves? No way. 15 digital, yes. Yes. Makes sense, right? I see. The lights that match the digital root of the pins inserted on the top and lower parts will light up. That's how it works. Well, there's one other thing I'd like to check. Well, if he wants to try, he's certainly welcome to. So you put the 1, 2, and 3 pins on the top and the 6, 7, and 8 pins on the bottom. Oh. You turned off. 6, 7, 8 is 21. This is a 3, therefore light 3 turns off. This is 6, digital root 6 is 6, therefore light 6 turns off. I get it now. The digital root for the pins you insert is the same as the number of the lights that are lit. Those lights turn off. Looks like that's the trick. Right, now we know how it works. You wanna give it a try? You mean you know what we're supposed to do with these lights? Well, no, but I figure we should try and see if we can turn them all on, you know? I figure something's gotta happen if you can manage that. Turn on the lights, huh? Okay, Jimpy, let's make sure we know how this works, alright? Pick one of the 6 holes, then pick one of the pins in your hand and insert it into the hole. Keep it up until all 6 of the holes are filled. Okay, thank you, game. Let's do it. The character has no clue what's close and doesn't know they saw even know the culprit. Would be funny. Let's see. Let's just go in order. So, hole 1. And we need the 6, so let's try. Okay, would you look at that? Then... Yeah! I wonder if we always need to have both of them filled. Probably. Three. There we go. All the lights are on and the shutters open up. Does that mean? Yeah, I gotta do it again. I thought I was doing so well. Well, you do have 9 of them. F, according to our little thingy, E is 14, so F would be 15. Good thing I have my notes from all the last few times. Seen those socks? Those are normal black socks. No? I've seen these specific socks before. Our culprit seems to have diabetes because these are specific compression socks. Would be interesting, but on the other hand, how close would you need to get to people to specifically look at their socks or something? You get 9 holes, and there's an F up above them. I don't know what the F means, but I do know one thing. What's that? This time there are 9 holes, so we need to insert 9 pins. And that's boring. Well, why don't you just try it, alright? Hey, damn. Why don't I just try it? Yeah. Oh my. Do I remember this maybe? Oh wait, hold on. This should have been a 7, my bad. This way around. I know math. There we go. Pins inserted, all lights lit. We did it! Power's on now. Looks like there's electricity going to the monitor on top now. Alright, let's see if we can activate the device on top. Which will hopefully have a green button, a red button, and a lever. I wonder what these do. I think this might help. What the hell is this? Where did you find this? What is that? Where'd you find it? I found it when you were messing around with the pinholes. Looks like instructions for this thing. According to what it says here, this thing's a remote control for that. That? Yeah, that. What's he pointing? Oh. The machine over there? Apparently it's called a Pushmaster 5000. Are you serious? Whatever. So what are we supposed to do with the Pushmaster 5000? See the coffin over on top of the crates? Yeah. Don't you want to know what the deal is with it? I do. You want to check it out? Yeah. Alright. How do you think we're gonna get there? Well, there were some crates on the right side of the fence that someone piled up like stairs. Maybe if we make a path to the coffin from there. How would we do that? Line up the crates. A cheese and pepper tamale. Enjoy. Yeah, sounds about right. I guess it's just another of Zero's puzzles. Yeah. Anyway, let's give it a shot. Looks like the Pushmaster 5000 runs off a battery. So to keep it from using up its energy too fast, it's been programmed so that it'll only start moving once its path has been completely programmed in. Alright. I'll keep that in mind. New material has been added to the file screen. Wait, really? Pushmaster 5000 instructions. In order to prolong battery life, it's advised to first simulate your actions before carrying them up. Put the lever to begin the simulation. Moving four directions, you cannot move diagonally if the portion of the move panels is very Okay. Sure, let me try them. Top-down view of the area where we can move the machine. Once I want to send my orders to the Pushmaster, I just pull the lever. Okay, let me try them. Reset button allows me to start over again. No. Return button allows me to quick command. Okay. Let me try? Keep in mind that there's a limit on the battery, alright? Battery dies after 50 moves. At least that's what it says in the manual. 50 moves, huh? Keep in mind that the Pushmaster 5000 can't move the heavy metal crates, okay? Got it. Okay! Okay, let me think. No, wait. Wait. No. I think I fucked something up. Yeah, now I definitely fucked it up. No, hold on. Yeah, that's exactly the problem. It would work if I had more moves, but I don't. Let me think. What if I... do it this way around? And then... does that work? I'm done putting in the program. What do you do next? Just be quiet and watch. See? It's moving already. Help me. Easy game made for babies. I wouldn't say that. This game features murder and a lot of blood. I don't think babies should see this game. Pushmaster 5000 did just what I told it to and line up all the crates. Now we can reach the coffin. Just need to climb those crates over by the fence. Which means we need to go all the way back down. Down, down. These who want blood all around them, then we find. Sure, whatever you say. Hi Raiders, welcome in! Good evening, I'm Noah, I like the color pink. Vision of us JRPGs, we're currently we're praying for me to stop fucking up my words. We're playing Zero Escape 909. How was your stream? Welcome! What were you doing in the RPG Maker? It's going well. How are you doing? Raid with number 5. You need a 2 and a 6 to enter the... Well, we have... wait, hold on. We're... 1, 4, 5, and 6 in this room right now. And a gun!
ピストルですね。
And the minigames. Oh, nice! You're gonna run away because you don't want to sold, which is very fair and valid. I hope you get to play this game sometime soon. It's a very good game. I can recommend it to everyone. You think you've earned it? Yes. Pistol Disney. Tracy, you may get to be number 1. Thank you for the follow. Enjoy your stay. Well, since you're running away, you're not going to enjoy much of your stay, but still, you know. Looks fancy.
モデルガンでしょうか。
こいつは実弾なのか。もしもこれが本物だとしたら。
Absolutely. Thank you.
持ってかねえのか？
当たり前だろう。こんなもん持ってたって争いの元になるだけだよ。誰かが一方的に有利になっちまうような強力な武器。そういう飛び道具があるのは危険なんだよ。こういう極限状態では。
まあ確かに正論だな。
もしかしたらゼロはそうなることを期待してこの銃を置いておいたのかもしれませんね。
So we all start killing each other with a gun? Or killing each other over again?
つまり私たちに争いを起こさせるために。
だったらなおさら放置で決まりだ。奴の思うつぼにはなりたくないからね。
だな。
だが隣にある鍵だけは放置ってわけにはいかないぜ。
わかってるよ。これは持っていこう。
Nice, a rusty key. Rusty key makes me think of Rusty Hearts. I miss that game. Oh, just put this key in here and sounds like that did it. Hey, looks like it's open, Jumpy. I see. This key should open this door. What are you waiting for? Let's go. Okay, damn, I'm going. It's opening. I still think that's a weird doorknob. Yay! Gee, look at that. We found it.
扉の先は長い通路か。
We do happen upon a lot of long hallways, yeah.
とにかく進んでみよ
う。ここは例のエレベーターの前だな。
さっきは左側のエレベーターから降りてきましたよ。
And now we're on the other side.
その後6の扉を開いて。
Even though I still think, but I'm going to blame this on the 3D modeling, I still think you should be able to fit through here. Over the grates. I think you could reasonably climb up this thing and just fit through here. But I'm going to blame it on the 3D modeling, so who knows?
さらに貨物室を通過し、
そして今、もう一度ここに戻ってきたと。
Hi, good evening! How are you?
う。つまり U の字を描くようにあっちからこっちへと回り込んできたってわけだ。降りるときはカードキーが必要だったが。
ここにはそれらしい機械は見当たりませんね。
ここからでは動かせないということかもしれないね。
Me too, me too. A little tired, but what's new, right? What's new? I'm always tired.
とりあえずボタンを押してみたらどうだ。
そうだな。
Cha-chan! Would you look at that? It's an elevator behind the elevator door.
動いた。
動きましたね。
動くならいいじゃねえか。これ
どうする？一度 C デッキに戻ってみるかね。
いや、通路はまだ先へと続いてるみたいだ。戻るとしてもそっちを調べてからの方がいいだろう。
Sure.
そうだな。行こ
う。Oh, more doors?
ここまでみたいだな。
ドアが1枚だけ。
Never mind, only one door.
他に進めそうなところは見当たりませんね。
Elevator inside another elevator inside another door. Good thing is we already played Superliminal before, so that's not going to happen to us ever again.
よし。開けてみよ
う。じゃじゃーん。Oh. Oh.
まあ開くわけないよな。ベイケントいよいよだな。
シュウペイ君、
あ、
見てください、後ろ。
9の扉がもう
2 of them
だと。
2 of them
どうして9だよな。レッドもあるし、本当にこれも。なんでだよ。どうして9の扉が2枚もあるんだ。
Good evening, how are you?
どうしても何もない。そもそもゼロは9の扉は1枚しかないなんてことは一言も言ってないんだからな。
He only said we had to find the number 9 door.
脱出するための出口は
Seek a door that carries a 9.
隠されている。
You're happy to be here, that's nice. I'm also happy you're here.
探したまえ。9と書かれた扉がそれだ。
We are currently on our way to our next bad ending. I mean, what? No, we just found the number 9 door, so We're gonna get out of this one.
にもかかわらず、俺たちは勝手に思い込んじまってたんだ。無意識のうちに。9の扉は1枚しかないってな。
そんな。なんてこった。ゼロにしてやられた。9の扉は2枚あった。ってことは、最初に大階段に集まった9人は、全員で脱出することができたはずなんだ。9人のバングルナンバーは、言うまでもなく、1、2、3、
Don't.
4人と5人の
That
チー
takes
ム
like
に
a
分け
horrendously long time for him to actually say every single number.
片方のチームの数字コンが9になれば、もう片方のチームも必ずその数字コンは9になる。例えば、1278と34569。どちらも数字コンは9だ。
Something, something. It's very funny to me when the main character in his own head starts explaining stuff to you, the player, because I'm like, oh, okay, yes, absolutely. For anyone who doesn't want to do the math themselves, to realize that yes, with all 9 people, it will always be possible to go out, but you know, for everyone who's not very good at math, like me, or who doesn't want to think very long, they're like, here's the explanation on why that would work. Thank you. Moving on.
例えば、2349と15678。
Yes, we're doing a lot of math in this game. Technically.
他にも組み合わせはたくさんあるが、どんな場合でも結果は同じだ。一方の数字コンが9なら、もう一方の数字コンも必ず9になる。これは一体何を意味するのか。簡単なことだ。つまり、9人全員が助かるように設計されたゲームだった。そういうことじゃないか。しっかりゼロは嘘はついていない。
Well, to be fair, why would you trust someone who throws you into a game with seemingly very high stakes where you could die? You wouldn't really think of this person as your savior who would have your best interests at heart.
9の扉は1枚しかない。それでも、閉じ込められたプレイヤーたちは当たり前のように争いを始める。一方のチームがもう一方のチームを裏切り、欺き、どうに場合によっては血が流れることだって、殺し合いが行われることだって、そうして生き残ったプレイヤーたちは、最後にこの部屋へとたどり着き、気づくんだ。9の扉は2枚あった。殺し合いなんてする必要はなかったのだと。おそらくそういうゲームなんだ。このノマリーゲームというもの、幸いなことに、俺たちの間では、9の扉の争奪戦は行われていない。だが、一歩間違えば、俺たちだって、狂気に取り憑かれていたの
Well,
かも
we
しれない
already have a bunch of people dead, so I'm not so sure, but it could always be worse.
で、どうするよ、順平。おいおい、しっかりしてくれよ。
悪い。
たく、それでどうなんだよ。
I just realized I said the wrong numbers earlier. We're number 1, 3, 5, and 6, and not 1, 4, 5, and 6. Like 20 minutes ago. Thank you, brain, for that belated realization.
どうって。
考えなきゃなんねえだろ。この先どうするべきか。
俺たちのバングルナンバーは1356で、その数字コンは6。
That's not Santa talking.
だがそれだと9の扉を進むことができねえ。
4人ではって。
Is it?
まさか。
そう。3人でならたった一つだけ9の扉を進むことができる組み合わせがある。だから聞いてんだよ。どうするってな。
それは。いや、ダメだ。引き返そう。
だな。
私も賛成だ。紫君を置き去りにするわけにはいかない。
いいんですか？私は別に残っても。
You should not say that.
いいんだよ。お前は何も気にしなくても。
野郎3人で脱出するくらいなら、海の底に沈んだ方がマシだ。ひょっとしたら、織姫様に会えるかもしれないしな。
Okay, that's definitely a joke. They had to change it to something else to make it work in English. Thank you.
それを言うなら乙姫だろ。
ああ、そっか。
俊平君。
とにかくさっきのエレベーターに乗って C デッキに戻ろう。もしかしたら四つ葉セブン、ヤシロの3人が1の扉の探索から戻ってきてるかもしれない。
でも合流したとしても
だがここに留まっていても仕方がないだろう。まずは他の3人と合流してなんとか打開策を見つけよう。
そうですね。
さあ行こう。
ああ。
はい。
そういえば、この部屋は一体何なんだ。9の扉のことばかりに気を取られていて、まともに調べてなかったか。
Honestly, first thought I had, it kind of reminds me of a cinema. But then as soon as you get to this view, I'm like, oh no, that's more like a church.
まるで何かの式場みたいだ。
Because of the pews.
でも一体何の？棺。どうしてこんなところに棺が。
おい、順平、何やってるんだ。早くしろ。
Yeah, right?
ああ、
Feels a little like a church.
今行く。
That was weird. Yeah. Ah, my favorite word. That even after 4 games of flowers, I can still not reliably say the chapel.
セブンにヤシロじゃねえか。
困ったことになった。
四つ葉がいなくなっちゃったの。
What do you mean? How do you lose a pair of siblings? First the one, then the other.
いなくなったって、どういうことだ。
いつ？
どうして？
君たちは四つ葉と一緒に1の扉に入ったんじゃなかったのか？
ああ、確かに一緒に1の扉に入ったよ。
でも四つ葉はほとんど口を聞いてくれなくて、
ずっと単独行動を続けてたんだ。
1の扉の先には合計で4つの部屋があったんだけど、
最後の4部屋目にあいつは入れてくれなくてな。
この部屋は私一人で十分だから。
そう言ってドアを閉めちまったんだ。
内側には何かつっかえ棒のようなものまでされていて、
ところが待てど暮らせど四つ葉は出てこねえ。
声をかけても返事はなく、
そこで俺はドアを蹴破ることにしたんだ。
すると
中はもぬけの殻だった。
四つ葉の姿はなかったの。
正面の壁には1枚のドアが。
そのドアは開け放たれたままになってて、
I like that they've grown closer and they're just like continuing the same thing instead of just one of them just talking. It's like, ah, would you look at that? You can finally have a reasonable conversation. It just took Clover absconding somewhere.
おそらくたった一人で脱出しちまったんだろ
もちろん私たちはすぐに彼女の後を追ったわ。
う。だがご覧の通りだ。
四つ葉は完全に行方をくらましてしまったの。
それはいつのことだ。
俺たちがここに戻ってきたのはついさっきのことだ。
そしたらちょうどタイミングよくあなたたちが現れて。
Don't we?
ということはこの大階段の周辺以外はまだどこも？
ああ、調べてね。
よし、それじゃあ手分けして四つ葉を探すことにしよう。時間がない。早速だが捜索開始だ。
Okay.
ああ、いないな。
ええ、いませんね。
ここはもういい。出よ
It's a good thing this ship is not
う。よし、ここで二手に分かれよ
big as hell,
う。俺は
right?
大階段に戻って エレベーターに乗り、
It's not like we managed to waste a bunch of time searching for someone else earlier as well. Clearly we're going to find her.
だから紫、お前はこの階段を登って B デッキの方を頼む。
Hi, Cappy, good evening. How are you?
はい、わかりました。わかりましたけど、
なんだ？
二人きりの時ぐらいその呼び方やめませんか？
そうだな。気をつけるよ。
順平くん？
いや、なんでもない。
それじゃあ私行きますね。
気をつけろよ。茜。
I still don't like this version of her name. Like Jumpy and Junpei, I okay, whatever. But Kani instead of Akane? What the fuck? A little late dinner. Oh, nice. This is Zero Escape 999, the first game in a trilogy of escape/mystery games. Which is one of my favorite game series of all time, and I was feeling really nostalgic for it because of and also the announcement of the new Somnium Files game that I wanted to play it again. Has a lot of bad endings you need to go through to get to the true ending though, but I can definitely recommend it if you like a good mystery and like escape rooms. Definitely. Junpei is our main character's name, but his nickname is a Jumpy, like a jump and a Y at the end. Like a 40-ish guy who drops by the pub. Kani. Junpei is a very, very normal Japanese name.
順平くんも気をつけてくださいね。
Kani. Kani.
わかった。それじゃあな。
Alright, where are we right now? Tragedy always strikes when one least expects it. But to wait for a man to stand before striking him down seems almost crueler than dealing the fatal blow while he lies on the ground. A light in a dark place, June's smile had given him hope, both for escape and possibly for something else. It was that hope that raised his spirits just enough that they might soon be fully dashed. He opened the elevator door and there she was. A woman sat, slouched against the wall. Lotus. Junpei felt his blood turn to ice. Her body was limp and her skin smooth and pale as always. It was covered in bright red blood. Junpei felt his chest constrict. He couldn't breathe and his legs began to shake. A slow, cold drop of sweat trickled down his back. He felt his stomach somersault. Junpei's mind went blank, all his thoughts replaced with endless hissing white. Driven by little more than instinct, he began to walk toward Lotus slowly. Each slow movement of his stiff limbs brought him closer to her corpse. Finally, he stood next to her. Robotically, he bent down and put his hand against her neck. There was no pulse. No rise and fall of breathing. She was slightly warm. Something somewhere in Junpei's shaken mind told him that meant she had been killed recently. Yes, Junpei thought, his mind slowly returning. She had been killed. Someone had killed her. There was a deep cut on the left side of her chest. Blood still oozed from it, although clearly her heart had stopped beating some time ago. The weapon had been a knife then. Perhaps she had been stabbed in the heart once. She would have died immediately. He took little comfort from knowing she must have suffered very little. Only then did Junpei notice. Lotus's bracelet was gone. And conveniently, they drew her left arm to not, be on the screen so you can't even see it. The wrist part, I mean. We know, we've heard this before. Was that why the killer had ended Lotus's life? So that they might have the number 8 bracelet? If that was true, then the killer was whoever wanted the number 8 bracelet. Or perhaps, more accurately, the person who would gain the most by obtaining bracelet number 8. Who is that? Who would benefit the most from the number 8 bracelet? The thought had only just entered Junpei's mind when he heard a noise. A sound like a sharp knife cutting through red meat. It struck him as strange that the noise came from inside his own body. A moment later, the pain hit him. It wasn't merely pain, there was heat, extreme heat as well. He felt as though molten iron had been splashed against the side of his body. Finally, his brain made a connection. He had been stabbed. Where? His body was quickly going numb. He couldn't tell where the knife had met his flesh. Given the circumstances, however, he had most likely been stabbed in the back. Whoever had killed Lotus had now done the same to Junpei as well. His voice was a little more than a weak groan. With what little strength he had left, Junpei turned his body, trying to catch a glimpse of his attacker. Ew! But as he did, the knife dug itself in deeper, twisting viciously. He collapsed to the floor, a puppet with his strings cut. His arms and legs lay where they fell, oddly twisted and awkwardly positioned. Junpei's body was entirely numb. He could feel the blood leaking out of him, but nothing would move. Nothing save his eyes. As he lay on the floor, his life ebbing away, Junpei finally saw his attacker. Two tiny images of the killer reflected in his eyes. With that recognition came nothing. He felt no emotions. Not anger, not sadness, not regret. The paralysis that had claimed his body had reached his mind. His killer glanced down at his body. Then, without a word, climbed into the elevator and was gone. His eyesight began to fade. The world grew blurry and began to dissolve into an empty white fog. The fog crept into the edges of his mind and worked inexorably inward. Soon it swallowed up the last that remained of Junpei's mind and his consciousness left him. There was nothing more. Into utter emptiness he fell. Into zero. Whatever Junpei had been was gone. Bad end. And in this one we don't even see who actually kills us, which is crazy. Who's the attacker? Wouldn't you like to know? Wouldn't you like to know? I'd completely forgotten that we would be able to reach this one. This early on. Me? No. What makes you think that? Alright, there we go. Let's see. Hold on, let me check. We have gotten the axe ending and we have gotten the knife ending. We would now need... which way would be... 4, 3, 2. Yeah, that should work. That should work. Okay. Okay, wait. We have not too many doors left. Okay, what we're gonna do is jump all the way back to here. Because we already went... Oh, does that work? Oh god, yes, thank you, prologue. That's exactly what I didn't want to happen. I make this mistake every single time. Yep. Okay. Never mind then. Okay, what I want to do is go here. So we can choose... Let's see. So we can choose door 4. Because I'm unsure how it's going to count which route we're going if I just simply jump across. So I want to choose door 4. 4. Oh no, wait, we need to do all of the... Why? Wait, where am I right now? Blah 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 blah. We want to go through door number 4.
一宮さんたち、そろそろ行くみたいですね。
Okay, and skip a little more until we actually go in there. We should be able to get relatively far. I think, since we do have a few more rooms we haven't seen yet, I don't think we can reach the other bad ending today still. Or it's going to be very close, probably. But let's see how far we can get. Okay, yeah. Let's jump into room number 4 so I can... Blah 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 blah. Is that enough? Yes, that is enough. Okay. Okay, and after this one, I want to go here. Because that should make... Yes, that works. That is exactly what I wanted. Perfect. A little more skipping until we get to choose our room. Then we're gonna go through door number 3. Stop. Stop. Which one is this? 8. We've not gone through door number 3 before, which means... I want to read this because we haven't actually seen it before. We want to go through door number 3, but we can't because it's impossible. If we split ourselves into 3 and 3, we give up on going through door number 3. Why? Right-set numbers, blah blah blah. 2 combinations. 2 teams can go through the same door, and 1 team will get left behind. Doesn't happen if you go through door 7 or 8. No, they're fine. We've got 3 options. Option A. There we go. Also, thank you for the posture check. You think it was pink hair girl? It feels like half the time. Half the time the bad endings are due to something with Clover. And I can't blame her in this situation, honestly. It was so bad. Thank you for the pad as well. That would be easy, yeah. I wanna go through door number 3, fuck you.
プラン C 367で7に入り458で8に入る方法以上の3通りだこれ以外の選択肢はない俺たち6人が揃ってこの先へと進むにはな
That was when Junpei realized. Plan A divides into 2 teams, 358 and 467. Plan B divides into 2 teams, 457 and 368. Plan C divides into 2 teams, 367 and 458. There was one thing they all had in common. 3 options, sort of 3 this. Right. Right.
つまり6人が揃ってこの先へと進むということは
Yes.
紫と離れ離れになるってことで
It's what he spends a significant amount of time on, yeah, actually. Jun and Junpei had been friends when they were kids. He trusted her more than anyone else on the ship. If he chose 7 or 8, he'd be taken away from her. Was that something he was prepared to do?
考え事は終わったかさあというわけだからもう一度考え直してくれ選択肢は2つだ7か8か
I don't want either of those. I don't want either of those. I want to go through door number 3.
3は絶対に選べない。選んじゃいけない。
Fuck you.
3を選べば、取り残された奴が確実に死ぬことになるからだ。
You're saying this like we're never going to return, my guy. It's not like we're leaving them to actually die. Fuck off. Jesus.
さあ、どうする ?7 か8か、どっちを選ぶ
Junpei thought hard. After thinking it over, his conclusion was take the risk and choose door 3. You have to imagine that I'm showing my middle finger to Santa because I don't give a fuck. I have main character syndrome and also main character privilege. I get to do this.
悪いなサンタ。それでも俺は3の扉を選ばせてもらうよ。
バカな、頭おかしいんじゃないのかお前。どうしてそこまでして3の扉にこだわるんだよ。
It's a nice number.
俺はただ
Junpei paused. He swallowed the words he'd been about to say.
3の扉が気になるんだ。どうしても。
理由になってねえだろうが。
理由ならある。ちゃんと説明してやるよ。
Nope. I'd be happy to explain it to you if you just come with me. With that, he began walking toward the door. With curiosity likely getting the better of them, the others followed. A few of them looked a little suspicious, but Junpei told himself that wouldn't matter. He kept walking and kept silent. Eventually, they arrived at the number 3 door. Junpei stopped.
気になるのはこのレッドなんだ。セブン、悪いがちょっと認証してもらえないかな。
あ？なんでだよ。
いいから頼むよ。
He stared at Junpei for a moment, then grunted and laid his palm heavily on the scanner.
これでいいか？
Yes.
ああ、ありがとう。これでレッドには7の数値が入力されたことになる。次は紫だ。同じようにレッドに触れてくれ。
俊平くん、一体何を確かめようとしてるんですか？
ああ、実はな。
Junpei thought about his answer for a
もしか
moment.
したら別の脱出方法が見つかるかもしれないんだ。
Yeah, I mean, they translated them to all work out for us non-Japanese speakers as well.
なんだって？
本当に？
That got them excited, just as Junpei had intended.
さあ、だから紫、認証を。
わかりました。
7 plus 6 is 13. 1 plus 2 is 3 is 4. With those two numbers in the red, Junpei had what he wanted. He casually placed his own hand on the scanner, and the third asterisk blinked on. 4 plus 5 is 9.
さて、あと認証を行ってないのはサンタと、それから四つ葉とヤシロだな。
だから何なの？
わからないのか？この状況が何を意味するのか。四つ葉とヤシロのバングルナンバーを足すといくつになる？
12、
その数字根は
3。
サンタと同じだな。ところでヤシロ、今レッドに入力されている数値はいくつだと思う
7たす6たす5は18。9ね。
その通り。ではそれに3を足した時の数字根は
3だわ。扉の数字と同じ。
そういうことだ。
おい、ちょっと待て。お前は一体何を企んでる？
別に何も。俺はただ
時？
均衡が崩れる時だよ。サンタかヤシロと四つ葉のペアか。どちらかが動けばもう片方も動かざるを得なくなる。その時を待ってるんだ。
Junpei laid his hand almost casually on the lever.
てめえペテンにかけやがったな。
Well, he sure did.
さっき言ってたことは全部デタラメだったってことか。
デタラメじゃない。これが俺の考えた別の脱出方法だ。
一体何のためにこんなことを。
Junpei glanced at June.
まさかお前紫と同じ扉に入るために、ただそれだけのためにこんなことを。
Santa was furious. His face was red and flecks of spit flew from his lips as he spoke. Junpei closed his eyes calmly and then opened them again.
さあ、動くのはどっちだ。サンタか、それとも。
行くわよ、やつば。
Lotus leapt forward. She grabbed Clover by the sleeve and ran for Junpei and the door. Caught by surprise, Santa froze for a moment, then shot forward like a bullet from a gun. Lotus had a head start, but Santa had the advantage in size and speed. Almost immediately, he passed Lotus and Clover. Santa did not hesitate. I mean, to be fair, Lotus is a very... what's the word? Opportunistic person? Like, it makes sense that she would be the first to react, but Santa's hand down on the red.
正気じゃねえ。こんなのは絶対に間違ってる。
He glared at Junpei, his chest heaving.
そうだな。そうかもしれない。
Junpei's voice was cold, but not without effort.
でも
He turned to the red and pulled the lever. With the sound of metal on metal, the door opened. It would only remain so for 9 seconds. There was no time to think. Junpei and his 3 reluctant companions jumped into the door's gaping mouth, one after another. No sooner did they enter than an all too familiar noise sounded from their left wrists. The detonators had activated. You know what I find fascinating? Like, I understand why. Like, they wouldn't immediately go so far as to just let him die on his own in there, but technically they could do the same thing as the Ninth Man had done in the very beginning. Right? Because the Ninth Man had also had 2 other people authenticate, and then he went in on his own. So obviously the bomb detonated because not everyone on the other side authenticated. But obviously all of the people who hadn't gone in, even though they authenticated, were still safe. So technically, if they wanted to, they could have just thrown Junpei in there and been like, oh, okay, you wanted to have us leave 2 people behind, so now you get to die on your own, but they don't do that. Not everyone would have been on that side of the plan anyway, but still, it's interesting, the difference between the initial lonely death of the Ninth Man and Junpei doing pretty much the same thing here, except he kind of forces everyone to go along with him. He could have yelled at, he could have also just been a massive ass. But we need to see every room, so I have to do that. Junpei looked back only once and saw Lotus and Clover on the other side of the closing door. They stood still, stopped where they had been when Santa reached the red, the defeat and desperation on their faces toward Junpei's heart. Then the door closed and they were gone. The weirdest fucking thing is, though, because we already know the other side, right? So we also know that we're going to end up back in that room anyway. So all we've done is manage to, is make sure we see a different room, together with June, only to end up back here after having pissed them off and thinking we've left them to die, basically. Are you wondering why this one is going to end up a bad end in the end as well? Want to know more? Turned around and on Junpei, lightning crackling in his eyes and his knuckles white.
分かってんのかおいお前はあの二人を
You can complain about that in a second when we're not in trouble and danger of getting blown up. Please.
うるせえガタガタ言ってんじゃねえよ
It hadn't been Junpei that spoke, but Seven.
そんなことよりも早くデッドを探せ
The clock was ticking. The dead was their only chance at survival. Unless they could find it and deactivate the detonators, the four of them would
あと
be...
1分もねえぞグズグズすんな急げ
くそ覚えとけよこの野郎
They scattered and began to scour the room. The deactivation device was nowhere to be found.
どこにあんだよ
Corridors stretched out in three directions, but everyone was blocked off by a wall of metal. There was only one way out. One other
あそ
door.
こだきっとあの扉の向こうだ
Seven ran for the door, a rusty iron thing. His large hands grabbed hold of the handle and pulled.
あ真っ暗だ
何も見えねえな
Junpei stuck his head through the door and looked around the
あれ
room.
は
Almost immediately, he spotted the blinking red light on the right
あ
wall.
ったぞデッドだ
He stepped into the room.
なんだ足の裏になんかぬるっとした感触が
He stopped and glanced down at his feet. What was...
何やってんだ
いや今なんか
いいからさっさと行け
Junpei felt Seven's heavy hand against his back and stumbled across the room. The other three piled in behind him. They all felt immediately that something was wrong. Nothing that could be easily identified, only a sense that something terrible shared the room with them. You won't ever get redemption. But there was no time to say so.
急げ早くデッドへ
They all started running. In the dark, it was hard to tell where the wall was. All they could see was the tiny red light blinking at them over and over and over.
あれか
Yeah. In quick succession, they all slammed their hands against the scanner panel. Oh man, why is this one so sticky? Seven leans against the wall. Seven leaned against the wall, gulping air. As his breathing began to return to normal, he glanced at his left wrist and grunted.
止まった止まったぜ
Sure did. Junpei could hear him laughing in the dark, but could barely make out the larger man's
何
face.
度やっても慣れないなこればっかりは
それにしても
Don't do that. The sound of retching came from Santa's
一体
direction.
何なんだこの匂いはよもう我慢できねえ吐きそうだぜ
So desperate had they been in their race to the dead that no one had noticed a horrible smell that pervaded the room. It was a terrible, nauseating stench, like burned and rotten meat. Adrenaline had drowned it out, but now it rolled over Junpei in waves, forcing itself into his nose with every breath he took.
確かにこいつはきついな
He felt his stomach clench and bile rise up in his
と
throat.
にかく明かりをつけてみようスイッチはあそこか
The light that spilled in from the door barely illuminated a small switch plate next to the door. Slowly, with the toll of the last few minutes apparent in his gait, Seven walked toward it. I do not like the squelchy sound it makes when he walks over there. Ew. He stopped as he got close and extended his fingers toward the
よ
switch.
しつけるぞ
I don't think you end up in this room on your very first playthrough unless you specifically try to piss off every single person you hang out with. Like, I don't think you would try to make it through door 3 when the game specifically is like, oh, we don't really have a way of going here. So, but imagine if this is your first time actually coming to this room, because we already know what's in here, right? Okay, you might not. but we as the player already know what they're going to find in this room, but this is the first time we're actually the ones finding it. But I wonder what it is like if you do manage to make it through this room first time round. There was a soft click as the lights came on. Just as the light turned on, June took in a short breath and... Someone spilled their spaghetti. A scream echoed through the room. Junpei's breath stopped in his throat. His heart ceased to beat. Time froze. His mind scrambled to make sense of what he saw before him. What was left of the body sat in a sea of blood. Chunks of flesh torn from the body sat in the blood like tiny islands in a great red sea. A vast, ragged hole had been torn in the torso, and what remained of his intestines spilled out of it like fresh spaghetti. Smaller chunks of meat had spattered against the wall and become stuck there as they dried. Globules of yellowish fat had left trails like tiny slugs as gravity pulled them down the wall, even as they dried to it. Seven's voice was low and strained. It looked as though the explosion had been quite powerful. His legs were both bent in an odd, unnatural way, and his left arm had split open, exposing the painfully white bone of his ulna. His bracelet lay next to him. It seemed to have hit the wall hard enough to have shattered the display, which lay on the ground in pieces. Half of his head had simply collapsed. The blood coating almost made it look like raw pizza dough covered in tomato sauce. Stop! Ugh. His clothes too were covered in blood. The burgundy tie, the white shirt, the jacket with the yellow piping, and the grey slacks. They were all familiar to Junpei. Santa's voice wavered as he spoke, his mouth dry. Finally, Junpei spoke. Right. Suddenly June was screaming, her voice broken. It was an eerie scream, full of insanity, and not entirely human. She shook her head violently and grabbed fistfuls of her own hair. Junpei could hear the sound of hair tearing. He grabbed for her wrist. But as he did, June leapt up and ran toward the exit. She screamed at the door and her fist slammed against it with a hollow sound. Junpei could see drops of blood on her knuckles. Technically... Let me see. Technically... You can get to the ending we want to go to without ever having to go through this room. It's just if you go through this room, it is easier. If you go through this room, you immediately basically lock into the route and the ending that we want. So technically, you could have gotten this ending without ever setting foot into the door 3. There's you can get to the ending we want by going through door 7 or 8. It really doesn't matter. The only thing you need to do afterwards is go through the door 2. But if you go through door 3, you only have the option to go through door 2 afterwards, thus locking you into the ending that we want to get. I mean, yeah, you need to go through door 2. It's just with this one, you will only have the option to go through door 2 afterwards, basically. So that way you're immediately locked into the ending, but You might have gotten through the game without ever actually going here. Since you never fully finished it and you only got the bad endings. She screamed again, a desperate, mindless cry. Her fists flailed against the door. Junpei couldn't watch anymore. He ran to June and wrapped his arm around her, pulling the screaming girl away from the door. She scrambled for a moment, her legs skittering across the floor, but her resistance didn't last long. As suddenly as her outburst had begun, it was over. The manic energy disappeared, and her body went limp in Junpei's arms. June collapsed toward the floor, and Junpei knelt down with her. He felt drops of something warm and wet. Was she crying? A moment later, she began to sob. Her shoulders shook and great, hot tears rolled down her face like rain. Her name was a whisper. She nodded once. Her trembling voice pulled at Junpei's heart. He stroked her hair gently. His face was so close to her. The scent of her hair was nostalgic. Several minutes passed before June's tears had dried. Junpei stood up. He bent down, put his arms under June's, and helped her to her feet. They didn't speak. Neither did Seven or Santa. A person was dead. They had died in that room in a terrible way. Junpei knew there was no way he could make himself forget that. There was no way any of them could forget it, but mourning would do no good. They spread out to search the room, but each felt as if their heart was made of lead. People smarter than me looked it up. Well, let's try to seek a way out of this one. I definitely don't want to stay in here any longer than I have to. It's not a very nice room to be in, but it's the one we hadn't checked out yet. Oh boy. Let's see. Oh, you checked all 3 toilets, you know? Nothing unusual there. Okay, sorry. A bucket! Junpei reached for the broom, and as he grabbed it, he heard a soft voice from behind him. It was June. Who? Yeah, Tracy, I feel it's gonna be a while longer until you're really gonna be familiar with Akane as well. You haven't seen the half of it.
Huh?
That's not how that saying goes, but... He turned around. June still looked sadly pale, but there was a smile on her face. The rabbit what?
組み合わせって？
純平くんとそのほうきのことですよ。よく振り回して遊んでたじゃないですか。あの小屋の前で。
そうだったっけ？
忘れちゃったんですか？
Junpei stared at the broom in his hand.
じゃあもしかしてあの夏休みのこと。
She looked very sad. He shook his head.
いや、それは覚えてるよ。忘れるわけないだろう。あんな強烈な出来事。
They were in the 6th grade. Junpei and June had been assigned to take care of the classroom pets, the rabbits. I don't know. I find classroom pets a very weird idea. I certainly never had something like this at my school, any of the schools I went to. I don't know, and I feel like a lot of these pets will suffer. Like, you just thought it was weird. I also think it's weird because I feel like either these pets will die horrible deaths because a child will just forget to take care of them, or the children will be needlessly cruel to them, or they're just simply going to be absolutely overstimulated because there's 15, 20, 30 tiny hands touching them every single day. The chief duty was to clean the hutches every morning. On the final day of school before summer vacation began, Junpei overslept. He rushed to school and found June standing in front of the rabbit hutches. No sooner had Junpei arrived than June began to cry. He had no idea why until he looked behind her into the rabbit hutch. First thing he saw was blood. The hutch was filled with the dead bodies of the rabbits. Even after the teachers and friends came to see what the commotion was, June couldn't stop crying.
私がいつまでも泣き止まずにいると、純平くんがそばに来てこう言ってくれましたよね。もう泣くな。犯人は必ず捕まえてやるって、その言葉で私ようやく泣き止んで。
泣き止んでからが大変だったんだよな。一緒に犯人を捕まえるとか言い出して。
June smiled and a little of the flush of life returned to her cheeks.
それで二人で犯人を待ち伏せすることにしたんですよね。
はは、そうだったな。
The school also kept roosters and guinea pigs. Junpei and June had decided the murderer would likely return to finish off the rest of the animals. They would ambush the killer at night. Junpei and June hid behind the hutch at dusk and waited. It was a warm summer night. The quiet sound of crickets whispered through the air. As the sun went down, the stars began to wink at them from the sky. In June's, Akane Kuroshiki's face, that night was something Junpei knew he would never forget as long as he lived.
だけど結局犯人は現れなかったんだよな。夏休みの間中張り込んだのにさ。
でもあれから動物たちは襲われなくなりました。私はあの張り込みは無駄じゃなかったと思ってます。
He'd felt the same way, but it was good to hear her say it.
まあ、今考えると結構無茶したよな。
無茶ですか？
She looked up at him, confused.
だってそうだろ。あの頃俺たち小学生だぜ。もし本当に犯人がやってきたら、きっと相手は。
I probably would have had a knife or something.
お前も本当は不安だっただろ。
私は不安じゃなかったです。だって純平くんが。
She blushed
そうい
furiously.
えば飼育係って誰もやりたがらなかったですよね。
Clearly embarrassed, she tried desperately to change the subject.
立候補したのも初めは私だけでした。
特に男子は動物の世話とかめんどくさがるからな。
We just... Okay.
後から純平くんが立候補してきて。
Ew, I have to take care of another living being. Wow.
どうせ何か係をやらなきゃいけなかったんだ。だったらパートナーはおとなしいやつの方がいい。サボっても担任にチクったりしないようなやつが。
そんな理由で立候補したんですか？
ああ、そうだ。
He nodded quickly and much too earnestly, and then quickly looked away at something very important.
もちろん。
That hadn't been the reason, of course. He had asked to take care of the rabbits so that he could be near June. But it had been so long ago, he couldn't bring himself to tell her how it felt back then. It would be embarrassing. He took a quick breath to clear his head, tossed the broom up, and then snatched it out of the air.
さてと、思い出話をしてる場合じゃないよな。早く脱出する方法を探さないと。
はい。それじゃあ、私は向こうを調べてきますね。
Sure. June nodded curtly, then turned and walked
さ
away.
て、それじゃあ俺もそろそろ。 さっきの血だまりか。
Junpei turned around and looked at the room. The snake's body. Chunks of flesh and organs still lay on the floor.
死体の隣で昔話なんて。こんな時に何やってんだろうな。
Well, you were also talking about different temperatures that water is still a liquid at and is ice when you were stuck in a freezer, so...
こんな時だからこそ。
Despite such a situation, or perhaps because of it, the mind turned to the farthest thing from death that it could find. Still, Junpei couldn't help but feel a twinge of guilt at wanting so desperately to live when Snake lay dead before him.
生き延びないとな。なんとしてでも、あいつと一緒に。
As he stared at the clumps of blackened flesh, all Junpei could think of was how much he wanted to live. Alright, broom got. Toilet paper. That has some weird writing on it. Wooden box, just something in here. Let me know. Let me know. Not the button I wanted. Toilet paper with some kind of red symbols on it. You think maybe that's a Skytail cipher? Skytail cipher? What the hell is that? You wrap a piece of paper around a stick and then write several sentences on it so that the whole paper is filled up. Then you unwrap the paper and you can't tell what the original message was, right? That's how it works, more or less. Then to decipher it, you gotta have a stick that's the same diameter as the original one. Same diameter as the original one, huh? Yeah. Then you just wrap the paper around that stick and you can read the code. I mean... I do have a stick. What if I wrap the toilet paper around the broom? Broom wrapped in toilet paper. Why is 7 smarter than I am? No? No, you will find out. So you wrap the toilet paper around the broom, huh? Looks like the symbols line up perfectly. It says 634 plus. Okay, 634 plus. Okay. Oh, there's no toilet paper here. The running wall that separates the toilets. There might be something in the tank, you know? Let's open that shit up. Oh, there is. A red key card. What I do appreciate about these games is that everyone does get a backstory. Ooh! What's this? This piece of paper tied to this pipe with a wire. Drainage valve operation. Please do not flush the water in these pipes. Doing so may cause the drain to overflow. Right, really? We don't have... What if I turn them all? Oh. Wait, how do I know which way to go? Tap on the right here must be connected to the drain in the middle of the room. If you turn on the water here, it'll probably come up through the drain. This one? No. How do I... It's water coming out of the shower head. Let's see if... It's hot. Really hot. That water must be just about boiling. Wait, there is water coming. Okay, thank you, game. Maybe give me a sound or something? Maybe I can use the shower here to fill the bucket with hot water. Hey, 7, could you turn on the shower? I'm gonna put the bucket under the head. Okay, sure thing. I was like, there's nothing happening. Bucket filled with hot water. Okay, do we have... Yeah. Just put a hot water into this tank and looks like you filled it. Now you should be able to flush it, right? Probably handle someone a tank that you can pull. You think so? Serious? Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Oh yeah, because... Right. Usually you should check that stuff out before and so you know why the hell you're doing what I'm doing. Some pipes connected to a tank in the toilet. Flush the hot water. Here it goes, just like a toilet should work. 185. The stuff's washed off. Looks like the writing was numbers. See it? 185. Okay, hold on. 6, 3, 4 plus 185 equals. What is this? You got me. Just looks like numbers. Okay, do we have a way of getting the screwdriver out of there? We can simply grab it. Okay. What are you?
なあ、順平。
Oh, that was easy.
体温計のメモリってなんで42度までしかないか知ってるか？
No, because I don't use Fahrenheit. Neither do you. That's just the localization talking.
さあ、考えたこともないな。
人の体を作ってるタンパク質は42度を越すと固まっちまうんだ。ゆで卵と同じさ。ゆで卵をいくら冷やしても生卵には戻らないだろ。
Okay.
要するに死んじまうってことだ。だから体温計には42度以上のメモリは必要ないんだよ。
そうなんだ。
だがよほどのことがない限りそんな熱が出ることはない。どんなウイルスに感染しようと42度を超えるのは極めて稀だ。
40... 42?
まあそれ以外の原因があれば話は別だな。
それ以外の原因？
そうだな。例えばサウナに閉じ込められるとか、あるいは焼却炉に放り込まれて。
なるほど。そりゃ確かに42度を超えるだろうな。よし、取れたぜ。なんだ？
いや、なんでもない。
なんだったんだ？
Well, we can get the salt water and the thermometer. Let's get this party started. I imagine he would just simply be burning his hands the entire time he tries to get any water out of there, but let's simply ignore that. Looks like that's doing the trick. There goes the gauge. And now it's at the open mark. It opened. What's this? Looks like there's a piece of paper in here. 957. Would you look at that? We have to do quite literally math at this point, I think. Wait, you don't really think we're supposed to use the luminol here, do you? It does seem kind of weird to use it here. Maybe I should try it just in case. I sprayed the luminol on the wall. What's next? Well, we need to... actually be able to see it somehow. Oh! Something down there, not great. I think it's a card. It's a blue card. Can't reach it though. It's too deep. Wait. How do I make it overflow? How do I make it overflow? Putting water through the pipe on the right, though. If you do that, it'll overflow from the drain. Ah. I don't understand how these are open. When are they open? Or more like, when are they closed? No. How do I make you overflow? Ah, there we go. Just like you thought, there's some more letters showing up after the LLR. See? It says LLR, LRL. Oh, okay, wait. LLR, LRL. My bad. LLR, LRL. So what is that on the wall? I wonder if it actually did anything. The screen's acting up. What the hell did you do? Nothing. Just mess with the valves a little. Nothing big. Nothing big. Just a little water coming out of it. Card is floating. Looks like the water floated the card up out of the drain. Give it. Give it. The card is floating in the water. Give it! And why will you not take it? My brother in Christ. Do you want me to turn it off again? No. Game, what do you want from me? Take it then. There must be water flowing through the pipe on the right. There's water pouring out of the drain. Oh my god. Are you for real? Thank you. That's what, let me use the card. The blue light just came on. And the red one. Oh. Blue light was just on, but it's off now. And the red light's on instead. So you have to swipe the red card first, then the blue card. Okay, sorry, my bad. Let me try it again. Great job, Jumpy. Both the lights are on now. Now you just need to put in the password. Yeah. And the password is going to be a 4-digit number, and we had a little... Yeah. Thank you. I think I know what I need to put in there. 1 7 7 6. There we go. Let's get out of there. Honestly, aside from it obviously being a horrible place to be in, it's one of the easiest rooms. Stream online is a disease that I have. Which is true. It still holds true. Why am I on the adventure screen, not the novel screen? That was weird. Outside of the shower room was a hallway that extended off to the left and right. Oh my god, were we in the adventure screen earlier as well? I didn't even realize. They moved a few steps toward the door when Junpei heard the sound of metal on metal.
Huh?
They turned around. Seven was doing something to the door of the shower room.
何やってんだよ、セブン。
もしかしたらシャワー室に戻ってくることになるかもしれねえだろ。だから扉にほうきの絵を挟んでおいたんだ。さあ、行こう。
I still think that's a smart move, and he's the only one ever doing it. With that, he stood up and began walking down the hallway. He rushed past Junpei and kept going. After a moment, the rest of them followed him. Before long, they found themselves at a large iron door. They had only been there for a moment when June spoke up.
純平君、あれ
He turned. There on the right side of the hallway was a piece of paper attached to the
どうした
wall.
壁に何か貼られてませんか？
俺は
Junpei ran over and peeled it off.
船内マップだ。
左上のところに C デッキとありますね。
このフロアのマップだってことか。じっくり見るのは後にしよう。今は進まないと。
Junpei folded the map and stuffed it into his pocket. Back at the door, the four of them lined up in front of it. Santa stepped forward. He grabbed hold of the door and then turned to look back at the rest of them.
いいか、開くぞ。
They nodded. Santa nodded back and threw the door open. All four of them leapt through.
こいつは。
おいおい、マジかよ。
It took only a moment for them to realize where they were.
戻ってきちまったってのか。
They had been there only a short time ago. It was a large hospital room filled with countless beds. Right. Lotus and Clover looked up as they entered. Ace was there as well, although he looked as though he had only just woken up.
四つ葉ちゃんに八代さん、一宮さんも無事だったんですね。あれ、八代さんがすごい形相でこっちに。
The moment they spotted Junpei, Lotus and Clover headed straight for him. As she neared him, Lotus drew back her hand and slapped him open-palmed across the face.
どの面下げて戻ってきたのよ。え？
Her face was furious. She grabbed Junpei by the collar and shook him violently. Clover didn't touch him, but the hate in her eyes was no less potent. It was Seven who stopped them.
よせよ。それどころじゃねえんだ。
His deep voice echoed across the massive room. Lotus glared at Seven, but let Junpei go after one last vicious shake.
何よ。
いいから見れる。
え？
ドアの間にドライバーをかませておいた。すぐそこの数字の書かれてないドアだ。ロックはかかってねえから、そこから入れ。進んでいくとシャワー室がある。そこのドアにも同じようにほうきの柄が挟み込んであるから。とにかく見てこい。
つまりナンバリングドアを通らなくてもその部屋に入れるってこと？
ああ、そうだ。
一体何があるのよ。
Well, technically you don't actually want to see.
行けば上がる。
ね
そうね。行きましょう。
Lotus and Clover looked at one another for a moment, then nodded and stepped through the door. By then, Ace had made his way to them, moving with the stiff, shuffling steps of someone who has only just awoken from a lengthy slumber.
やれやれ、必ず戻ってきてくれると信じている。確かに私はそう言ったが、まさかこんなに早く実現するとはね。
Ace shook his head weakly.
私も行くべきなのかな。
ああ。
Seven
分
nodded.
かったよ。
Ace followed Lotus and Clover with his stiff, tired gait. The squeal of tortured metal made Junpei's teeth curl. It sounded like the noise a ghost would make. No matter how many times he heard it, he never got used to it. Every time it put him on edge. It didn't help that there was a girl nearby who looked far more like a ghost than a living human should. It's Clover. She sat on the edge of the bed, her head drooping listlessly onto her chest. Is this? Are we back? No. Not. It simply shares some... See, this is what I mean, by the way. If you go through this door, you will be logged into this option. You can... Yeah, you can get to this if you choose door 2 over here. But most people would go either of these two ways, simply. So... The thing is, though, in the original DS release, you didn't have the flowchart yet. Cross our key symbols. Oh, Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Eyes were blank and stared across the room at nothing. Her breathing was slow and mechanical. Aside from the rise and fall of her chest, she didn't move. Junpei felt as if even a nudge might cause her to shatter into 1,000 pieces.
おそらくニルスは殺されたんだろう。
Don't worry about it, kitten. Okay, yay!
あの9番の男が死んだ時と同じような状況に追い込まれてな。
Seven lowered his voice slightly in an effort to keep Clover from hearing what he had to say. There were 4 other people in the room with Junpei and Seven. Ace, Santa, June, and Lotus. Seven looked at each one of them in turn and continued.
やった方法は実に単純明快だ。簡単に説明することが。
Okay, hold on, but this technically should be the exact same
ニルスと
text
共にレッドで認
as
証
the
を行い
first time
3の
we
扉
do
を開い
find
た。
out about it, right?
その9秒孤立したニルスになす無駄だとは知りながらも藁にもすがる思いだがデッドで認証を行っても止めるにはそしてその結果
なるほど。ナンバリングドアを開くには犯人一人と。
そういうこと要するに
念のため、もしも今の推理が正しいとするなら。
全員で分かれてニルスがいなくなっ
ってことはみんなそれぞれ。
だね。
Yeah, this is the same text.
なんだか当たりそれって
ああしかも
よさないかセブン。こんなところで猜疑心を煽ってどう。
ゼロの
そうとも。ゲームであるからには9の扉に入れた者が奴はその勝敗を。
つまり意図的に
そういうことだからこそ互いを信頼し、そうしなければ。
ってことは
ああというかだな、奴はこのゲームの主、そいつがニルスを殺した。
もしもニルス。
Ah. Zero is still on the ship with them, of course.
そうだよな。それに
Let
して
me
も
see. Clover.
多分ゼロ
Yeah, now Clover's like, Zero's one of us. Blah, 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 blah. It's
確かに
possible.
四つ葉の言った
さっきの
ああそうだ。
むやみ
何なんだ。
バングルだよ。どうしてゼロはだったらその方がなんでバングル
It's
の送信機
unfortunate
に対して爆
that
発
it's
するような仕組みに
because
なってるんだよ。
this is the same text, but because it's on a completely different route, we have
そ
to
れだ
go
けじゃ
through
ない
it
ぞ
all again.
船内にある数々つまり何もかもが勝手になぜだ。
ゼロは俺たちだとすると逐一だからそういう。
そうだセブンニルス殺しの犯人。
ああ
次は一宮。あんたは確か。
ああその通り。
じゃあ連立方程式ニルス殺しの犯人要するにセブンゼロがこの中に。
で
動機
そう
And then Lotus is like, okay, but what about motive? And we don't have any.
わからない。
つまり
それだ。
And then the clock starts again. It's Junpei, obviously.
あの時計の感
タイムリミットまで
3
とにか
hours
く今は動
left.
くセブン。四つ葉今はそれよりも。
それは
さあ時間がない。
次に目指す こ
Mercury?
こだな。
それ
Do we really have to read through all of that
水星のマ
again?
ーク
Hey, he doesn't say the devil thing again.
さて
Oh, but now it's all 7 of them?
入力できる回数ボタンは
C とボトムか。
I should have sure I did
Some
nothing
bottom.
first. I see. Okay, you know what? I think that's a good point then. Because that should be where the difference lies. They all go down there together. I see. They all go down together, and then it's this really long way of figuring out blah blah blah, and then we go through just the number 2 door, where instead on the others, it's like, okay, we split up and we find a bunch of doors, and that's where we choose where to go. That's the difference. Okay, then that means I'm gonna stop here, and instead of, you know, absolutely talking over everything they're doing, we're actually gonna read it out again next time. Oh, newest stream time! No, newest stream end time! Hi, Bea. Good evening. So you catching me quite literally when I'm about to end stream for tonight. I'm sorry. How are you doing though? Hello. Yes, I'm sorry. It is already past 11. But still, I hope you're doing fine. I hope I'll be able to stream again tomorrow and continue here. Because we will definitely be able to reach our next bad ending next time, for sure, I think. I'm okay. I'm okay, a little tired, but what's new? What else is new? Yeah, stream was fine. Nope, don't do that. Stream was fine. Had a sinking suspicion that someone was trying to hack my stream, but it wasn't actually the case, so that was fun. Totally tired, gang, for real. Thank you for stream. No, thank you for coming by. But yeah, that is what we're gonna end tonight. I'm gonna send you guys over. Oh, that's nice. I don't think I've ever been able to write her back. I think. I'm gonna send you guys over to Juniper, who has rated us a few times before, and I think I can finally send a rate back. She's currently playing Hollow Knight. I haven't played Hollow Knight in forever. I forgot everything. Thanks for saying no. Thank you for coming by. Let me. Oh my god. Let me press a few buttons here and there too. Okay. Goodbye, game. Fun. I love that everything here works exactly as intended, which is to say, it doesn't really most of the time. In preparation of maybe Silksong. Maybe there's lots of people playing Hollow Knight recently. I feel like half the time I look at Twitch, it's like, oh my god, someone else is playing Hollow Knight, which is fine. Last time I tried, I was very, you know, once again, ran into a wall that I didn't really feel like trying to climb, but that's mostly a me thing. Well, yeah, for now, have a good night, everyone. I'll see you guys soon. Thank you for coming by tonight. Bye bye. Bye bye.